Angeles Rams. Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Ryan here at Anaheim. And a week ago, these Green Bay Packers came from 21 points down. A great comeback on the arm of Don Majkowski to upset the New Orleans Saints. And meanwhile, the Los Angeles Rams had an impressive victory of their own to go to 2-0, beating up on the Indianapolis Colts. Well, joining me in the booth is a man who knows about winning, former Super Bowler from San Francisco, Randy Crossan. Randy, last week you had two quarterbacks who were incredibly hot.
Well, you don't get any hotter than Don Majkowski. 18 consecutive completions. Jim Everett had 14 completions in a row. But I think the key is going to be defense. Defensively, the Rams have been a quick, strong, confident defense for years. Green Bay's got a resurgent offense that's going to challenge them. On the other side, the Ram offense has always been geared to the run. They're worried about passing too much, and I think the Green Bay defense with guys like Brian Noble and Tim Harris are going to have a real stiff challenge.
Are you saying we could see yet another Packer upset 2 weeks in a row?
Well, I think the Rams are looking towards the playoffs and the Super Bowl. I think they're overlooking the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers, on the other hand, are looking at this game to be the key to their season down the road.
Well, and then there's Tony Mandarich. This is the day he is expected to make his debut as a Green Bay Packer, the most talked about rookie in the NFL this season. Expected to play in short yardage and goal line situations. 79 degrees. And just a few minutes ago, they reported 86 on the field out there in the sunshine. That could be a factor as the day goes on. The Green Bay Packers will receive, and Mike Lansford prepares to barefoot it for the Los Angeles Rams. Packers to our right in white. They have deep Herman Fontenot, the former Brown, and Brent Fullwood. And Fullwood having himself a terrific season so far, running from scrimmage and also as a kickoff returner. Jeff Query also back as one of the 3Ds, the rookie wide receiver. And it's going to be Query. The youngster from Millikan College in Wisconsin gets it out to the 25-yard line, and Don Majkowski will bring out the Packers. Frank Stamms, the Notre Dame rookie, made the stop. Majkowski's numbers a week ago, 354 yards, 3 touchdowns. And he'll have this offensive line in front of him, and Alan Weingrad over there at right tackle feeling the hot breath. The big rookie expected to make his appearance today, Tony Mandarich. In the backfield, there's a look at the running backs, and Fontenot will be in on third downs, along with the extra wide receivers that come in on the passing downs. Almost intercepted on first down by Mel Owens, the linebacker, number 58. Majkowski trying to go quickly to Pete Woodside. Defensively, for a very active L.A. team, Reed, Miller, and Wright, their basic front three. Bill Hawkins, the number 1 pick, comes in on passing downs. And they use a bunch of linebackers and secondary men. You'll see Richard Brown come in several passing situations. Strickland is kind of the key to how that works. You'll see their Eagle defense. And when you do, you'll see Henley, Newman, and James Washington all get involved in the secondary. 2nd and 10, Green Bay. For Ed West, complete. First down at the 45-yard line of Green Bay. Owens and Vince Newsom on the coverage of the tight end. But this guy has become a weapon for them, Randy.
Lindy Infante's very impressed. Ed West has always been a great blocking tight end, but he's getting better and better now as a receiving tight end. He's done a great job and runs out here, gets a little loose in the backfield. You love to see a tight end get loose back there and catch the ball well. It's very unusual. They consider him probably right up there. Clint Didier has taught him an awful lot, the veteran free agent from the Washington Redskins.
9 catches in 3 games now for Ed West. First down, Green Bay. Right up the middle to the running back, Woodside. Woodside fits so well into the Lindy Infante scheme as a guy who will be out in pass patterns probably more frequently than he'll carry the ball. Fred Strickland made the tackle, and a gain for Green Bay of 5 yards.
One thing to look for early is I believe Green Bay is going to try to block big Kevin Green, number 91, and Mike Wilcher, number 54, the big outside linebackers. They're going to try to man them up with the running backs. Most teams try to put offensive linemen on those big linebackers.
Well, we'll see how long that lasts, if it's effective or not for Green Bay. Woodside, good hole. Runs over a tackler right through Newsom to get what appears to be the first down yardage. It'll be close. 45-yard line of Los Angeles. Woodside, the second-year man from Texas A&M, was their third pick a year ago. Lindy Infante liked Woodside right away. Very intelligent young man who picked up the offense quickly and has become the perfect all-purpose back for him. Richard Brown has come in the lineup as the Rams continue to shuffle up defenses in different situations. Brown, the linebacker, number 92. First down. 3 down linemen on this situation for the Rams. Fullwood's first carry for about 2 yards. Doug Reed stopped him. Fullwood 125 yards last week against New Orleans, his career best.
Brent Fullwood's really come to life for the Green Bay Packers, starting to play better and better. Lindy Infante says he expects right around 1,000 yards out of Fullwood. They might be receiving and rushing, but he figures his contribution's got to be right around there, about 1,000 yards.
Randy, they haven't put this up on the screen for us yet, but I've got to give you the scoop. 3:17 to go. San Francisco has gone in front of Philadelphia 31-28. I know that brings a smile to your mustache.
That's got to be a barn burner. I like to see that.
Second down and 8. Mikowski slips but gets it off and out of bounds, intended for Sterling Sharp. But Mikowski slipped on the turf out there and didn't ever get set up properly.
And speaking with Don Mikowski before the game, he was talking about, this is my first trip to California. This is a great place. I love this. And he was real excited about the chance of getting the ball on the ground and moving it against the Rams, because he knows very well they're going to come after him. If you can rattle Don Mikowski, he is the key to this Green Bay offense. He has a bad day, they don't have a chance.
A youngster in his second start as the guy who's been given the job by Lindy Infante. He got to play some last year, but this year he is the designated starter. Third down and 8. Building on the confidence of 14 in a row on a big day last week. Gets some time, but it's picked off. Clifford Hicks. Mikowski drove him out of bounds at the 45 of Green Bay and got up slowly. 27-yard return.
Don Mikowski, if he had a problem, it's been early in the game, according to the coaches. He misreads some defense. You'll see him here throw it into the spot of the field. He should not have thrown that ball. Clearly, he was throwing it into a coverage. Clifford Hicks, you can't say he made a great play. The ball was thrown right into his arms. Mikowski gets over along with Ron Hallstrom and knocks Hicks out of bounds.
Jeff Query, the rookie from Milliken, a tiny college in Wisconsin, was the intended receiver, and he's been good on third down, but had no chance there. So the Rams, from the Green Bay 45, go to the air on first down. Incomplete. Intended for Willie Anderson. Dave Brown, the veteran corner, number 32, broke it up. The offensive front of the Rams, a veteran line. Tony Slayton getting another start ahead of Duval Love. All those guys have been there before. And Bell, McGee, Ellard, and Anderson starting outside. You'll see Holohan as the move back, or the H-back, and Aaron Cox coming back off a hamstring will figure as the third wide receiver. The number 2 pick out of Arizona State last year hasn't seen action. Greg Bell inside the 40 of Green Bay. Pickup of about 7 yards. Johnny Holland made the tackle, number 50. Brown Nelson and Sean Patterson, the second-year defensive end, along the front. They use a basic 3-4 without all of the changes you see from the Rams. Anderson, Noble, Holland, and Harris, the linebackers. And in the secondary, they'd like to get Mark Lee back into action today. His first action after a knee injury. Tiger Green will come in with Lee on the passing down. And ultimately, Lee is expected to win back the corner spot, currently held down by Van Jakes. 3rd and 4 Rams. Holohan, not like the Packers weren't expecting him on third down, Randy, but he's a sneaky guy.
He really is. John Robinson, in fact, made a little crack on Friday. Said, you know, Pete Holohan probably runs the 40 in about an hour. But Pete Holohan's the kind of guy, he's not real fast. He's very talented. He's out of that San Diego Chargers system, and Ernie Zampese knows where the holes in these defenses are. He's known for this. Gets underneath the linebackers. He's the guy that's going to average 7 to 10 yards a catch, but they're going to be very key 7 to 10 yard catches.
And if he can use a striped shirt for a pick down there, he's not averse to doing that either. Or one of the other guys on the other team. First down. Bell Bell for another 7 or 8. Johnny Holland on the stop. Greg Bell with 196 yards over the first 2 games, 62 of them last week.
Now this is the famous Ram counter. You got some great offensive linemen here pulling this way with the running back, especially against this defense. Great blocking angles down, and we're just going to see Greg Bell run this way and cut up through a great hole. It's good to see the Rams run this play. They figure that they've run it too much in the past, and it's sort of taken them out of it. But Johnny Holland gets knocked back, and Greg Bell just goes through a huge hole.
Bell again on 2nd down. Close to the first down yardage marker, depending on the spot. You need to get to the 23-yard line, just inside the 24. Tim Harris on the tackle.
This is the kind of Ram offense that can kill a team, especially a young, enthusiastic team like the Green Bay Packers. If you were to take time of possession as oxygen, the Rams can choke your oxygen off. They're a team that holds on to the ball for 7, 8 minutes in a drive, and before you know it, it's already the end of the first quarter. You've only been on the field for 1 or 2 series.
So it is a first down for the Rams, grinding it out here now on this opening drive. They threw on first down, but they've had Greg Bell plowing yardage out ahead of them in the last couple of carries. Anderson comes into the lineup with Del Pino, and Robert Del Pino, number 39, usually in on a passing down. Bell again. Bell met by the safety Ken Stills. Pickup of about another 5 for Greg Bell.
You notice all that infield here at Anaheim Stadium, home of also the California Angels, but it makes it very difficult this time of the year, especially when you see a back like Greg Bell. He'd love to get out on the grass or out on that AstroTurf and make that quick cut back to his left in that case, and he didn't have the opportunity. It's hard to make a real quick move on this dirt.
The infield dirt in the home of the Angels here. They're now at the 20-yard line, just at about deep second base. Everett stumbles on the grass, and now running on that dirt, unloads it into the end zone. Incomplete. Aaron Cox, the intended receiver, but Everett, being flush from the pocket, didn't really have a chance to put that ball where he wanted to.
Well,
Robert Brown had the charge on.
A good job by the Green Bay Packers. They get a little force up. They make Jim Everett think run. Jim Everett won't be compared too often to Anthony Cunningham, and he's flipped the ball here. Had a chance at a completion, but Jim Everett is a guy that needs to stand in that pocket, and he needs to stand there confidently to throw the ball. The Packers know they have to get pressure in the middle and look for Tim Harris to be playing on the center today in the defense, especially in the nickel.
A lot of shifting by the Green Bay defense here, and Everett gets it out quickly, complete to Henry Ellard. His first catch of the day, but a flag down. Ellard, what a day he had a week ago. 3 touchdowns, 12 catches. Already has 329 yards rolled up on 17 grabs through 2 games.
What a combination so far this season. Ellard and Everett. Here's Jim Tunney, the head referee here in the NFL, and a fine gentleman to boot. He's a heck of a guy.
Illegal motion, number 86. It'll still be 3rd down.
Simone Johnson, the tight end, illegally in motion. Well, now they back that up. It'll leave 3rd down about 9. Now, when you say he's a heck of a guy, Jim Tunney, how do you learn that about a referee during the game? What is that you mean?
Well, actually, he's also a real good motivational speaker. I've been at some seminars and things that he's spoken at, and he's a multifaceted gentleman. He's a guy that's not just a referee. He's a heck of a public speaker, and obviously he's got to be the best they have because they made him #1 in the NFL.
Lee and Green into the secondary for Green Bay, rolling left. Everett trying to find a man. For Ellard, overthrown. Van Jakes on the coverage. Ellard had a step on him, but Everett didn't deliver. Coming back across the green.
It seems a little curious, Tim, to see the Rams using these rollout passes like this a play action where they sort of fake the counter and bring the center back around with the quarterback to block. That's not the Rams' game. The Rams' game is not moving that quarterback around. They use him more as a fixture to stand there and throw the ball.
So the field goal try by Lansford from the 29, a 39-yard attempt. And he's got it. The Rams use their interception to open the scoring here. Lead 3-0 in the first period. 38-28. Montana 25 for 34 in that game to this point. Giants winners today. Washington walloping Dallas. And Chicago beating up on Detroit. Look at this. Pittsburgh upset Minnesota. The Vikings lost 2 in a row. Taken by Jeff Query near the 10-yard line. Query's got some room on the sideline and gets all the way out to the 39-yard line of Green Bay. Mikowski brings on the Packer offense. Quickly some other scores. There's a barn burner. How's that for an expression you never hear? Houston leading by 4. And Seattle over New England. The Seahawks struggled through the first 2 games. They get a win. Indianapolis beat Atlanta. Both the quarterbacks were hurt in that game today, Chandler and Miller. Tampa Bay leading New Orleans. And that is now final. Tampa Bay with a win over the Saints, who've lost 2 in a row. Saints and Vikings, teams that many talk of in playoff terms, off to a bad start. First down, Packers. Take the draw. Off the fingertips of Woodside. Coverage from Vince Newsom, number 22, who went up for the ball as well. A little too high.
A little too high and maybe a little marginal when you're talking about should he throw the ball in that area. Newsom had good position that time, and he threw the ball so high even Woodside couldn't get at it. But he got good pass protection that time, and they've got to keep protecting Don Mikowski, so we'll have more and more confidence to stand in there against this Ram defense.
Mikowski now 2 of 6 to start in the first period here, and the interception by Clifford Hicks that led to the Ram field goal. Fullwood met at the line of scrimmage. Got maybe 2. Reed and Wright, 93 and 99 on that front 3 of the Rams, making the tackle.
So far in the first 2 possessions, we've seen the Rams play an awful lot of their base 3-4 defense. They haven't showed too much of what they refer to as the eagle, with Brown in as a nose guard and almost a Buddy Ryan style of a defense. You know, the Rams run those different kinds of defenses as far as I'm concerned because they don't have a dominating type of a defensive lineman that can make the difference. They've got to use their linebackers.
Well, they sent 5 new troops in on this obvious passing down, including the number 1 pick, Bill Hawkins, out of Miami. Number 70. On the defensive front. Mikowski slips again. Intended for Carl Bland. And he couldn't haul it in. The pass just off the mark. But again, the footing in that area, from our view here, you can see it's kind of sandy under the turf. And both Everett and Mikowski have happened to try to set up in that same area. And they've both been having problem with the footing.
When you're throwing timing patterns like that, a little slip can kill an entire play. If I was the quarterbacks, both Everett and Mikowski, I'd go get another pair of shoes, a little bigger cleats that's going to give me better traction, because they can't afford to slip like that.
Bracken will have to punt for Green Bay from his 25. Darrell Henley, Ram rookie, waiting for it at the 20. Fair catch. So the Rams will start from their 20 when we return here in the first period with a 3-0 Los Angeles lead. Long series between these two teams. 37-22-1. The Rams lead it. Packers haven't won out here since 1967. Last year, the Rams handed the Packers a 34-7 defeat in the regular season opener in Green Bay. 76 meetings, 52-year-old series. Of course, goes back to when the Rams were in Cleveland. So Los Angeles starting from their own 20-yard line. McGee and Bell, the running backs with Everett. They are up 3-0. Tim Ryan with Randy Cross here at Anaheim Stadium on a hot, sunny afternoon. First down to Henry Ellard up to the 37-yard line. And again, Randy passing on first down for L.A. paying off.
I believe last week, or up to this point, Jim Everett was 14 of 16 on first down throwing the ball, and this is his favorite target, Henry Ellard, number 80 here. Great play, just pushes off the defensive back, good timing pattern. We're talking about the quarterback slipping. You run a pattern like that, even with a great receiver like Henry Ellard, the timing is thrown completely off when the quarterback stumbles.
And Jakes victimized by Ellard on that play. Bell. Good coverage defensively by the Packer front, holding him to about a 2-yard pickup near the 39. Brian Noble, the linebacker, number 91, on the hit.
And I mentioned about first down passing last week. Look at these two guys on first down. Is that incredible? And we're talking about the Rams. They're supposed to be a running team, and that's a classic running down, first down.
Ernie Zampese, their offensive coordinator, came over from San Diego a couple of years ago, has really changed things around for them. And, of course, he's got a weapon in this young man, Jim Everett. But John Robinson reminds everybody, hey, you got to have balance. We like to run, and that's the Robinson tradition. Second down. Bell. Nice move by Greg Bell, cutting to the open territory, and another Ram first down to the 44-yard line of Green Bay.
Greg Bell's not the kind of runner that's going to explode incredibly quick out of his stance. He's the kind of runner that loves to cut and slide and move around these big bodies. With the size of this Ram offensive line, he can really be shielded a lot of the time. Doug Smith, 56, middle of your screen, just blocks back, gets a nice block. Tony Slayton, 61, very nice. You see these creases. Bell's just moving through the defense. He's not doing anything spectacular. He's just eating the yardage up.
Ron Brown in at wide receiver for the Rams, along with Ellard, both split wide. Left, Ellard right. Inside to Del Pino. A flag down as Del Pino stopped after a gain of about a yard. Well, a little extra. Whoa, Noble and Del Pino trying their fistic ability here, and you know, I've never understood that. Why anybody would want to throw a punch at a face mask. Can you explain that to me, Randy?
I can't explain. Heck, every time a fight started when I was playing, I'd go sit on the bench. That's the safest place to be. You're going to break your hand hitting somebody in the helmet.
The formation. Tight end was covered by an outside receiver.
You know, Brian Noble is a real enthusiastic guy, and probably even more so now. He's got 350 people here for this game, and Brian Noble said, I'm going to be pumped up. Look for a few fights in the fights in the stands. That'll be my guys. Del Pino pops him. He pops him back. Now, here we go. Oh, good left.
Missed.
He missed.
Yeah.
Hey, you're at it.
And still first down.
Could Gil Clancy help him with that left, you think, Tim?
Yeah, I think if he thinks he can help Jerry Cooney, he can certainly help Brian Noble. It's going to be first down and 15 back at midfield. And it is now a final. The 49ers coming from behind to beat Philadelphia. And that has Randy smiling. Washington over Dallas 30-7. And Buffalo and Houston, look at this, 41-38. A lot of defense down there today. We're 3-0 here. Rams ball. Illegal formation penalty backed him up 5 yards. Bell again. Nowhere to go. Stack of Packers led by Holland and Noble, the inside linebackers in the 3-4. Holland number 50, Noble number 91. Yeah, what did Noble say? More than 300 of his friends and family here from Anaheim came to watch him today and cheer for Green Bay.
That's right. He's pretty fired up. He's the kind of guy that likes that. It's only a second chance he's ever had to play in front of a home crowd. He's from Anaheim. They played here in '85, and now it's been another 4 years till he gets to come back. So that could be expensive. Whoa, 350.
Second down. Everett going deep for Anderson. He's got it. Inside the 1. 45 yards.
Willie Anderson out of UCLA has taken a lot of flack about dropping a couple passes last week, specifically one when he was wide open for a touchdown. But Jim Everett's going to have all day long. He pumps one way, he pumps the other, and flips that ball up there. This is the Jim Everett pass. Right on the money, hits the guy in stride, and Willie Anderson just goes in. You know, that's marginal. If they were to play that back, it's going to be very, very close as to whether or not that ball gets over the edge of the cone. It just has to barely penetrate right Here, if he had it in his left hand, I think it would have been a touchdown, but it was in his right hand.
Rams are taking a timeout. The ball is about the 1-foot line. And Jim Everett will come over to consult with the offensive staff here. 3:32 to go, first quarter. On first down, the Rams take it in. Greg Bell. So Everett to Willie Anderson, 45 yards down inside the one, setting up the plunge by Bell. And John Robinson says things look a little more comfortable when you're up by 9 at home. With the point after coming, Lansford. There's Greg Bell. Holohan will hold. And it's good. So Jim Everett continues to stay hot for a big week last week against Indianapolis. Setting up this dive play by Bell.
You get the Rams on the half-yard line, there's very little doubt what they're going to do. They're going to run the ball. Tony Slayton and Jackie Slater open the way. Del Pino comes diving through to clear things out, and Greg Bell scores these. Tim, you and I could have scored on that play.
Well, maybe you. There's Bell. And Green Bay trailing by 10 here in the first. Tim Ryan and Randy Cross at Anaheim Stadium. The Rams have taken a 10-0 lead. 3:29 to go, first quarter. Lansford, who scored his 600th point with that point after, kicks it off for the Rams. Taken by Query at the 10. Query out to the 35-yard line. Again, good field position for Green Bay. James Washington on the tackle.
And here that touchdown again. You talk about blocking angles. Look at Slayton and Slater block down on their guys here. Del Pino come through and put a lead block on Noble, and it's just an easy walk in the park for Greg Bell into the end zone. And here you're going to see Slater down, Slayton down, Del Pino dives. McGee dives into Noble, and Greg Bell scores easily. Could have been out 2-3 yards. He still would have made it.
But Green Bay now down by 10. That will have to crank up that passing arm of Mikowski again, although they do want to run the ball. And they go with Fullwood. Fullwood running hard, gets about 7 yards to the 42-yard line. Strickland and Owens, the middle linebackers, put the stop on him. And you saw Greg Bell take it in, and you know, he's still playing in the shadow of Eric Dickerson, it seems. Here he got all the attention a week ago, the former Ram back. Rushing touchdowns in 10 straight games, and now with Henry Ellard getting hot as he has on the receiving end of Jim Everett's passes, well, it is indeed double trouble. Second down, and a long through. Green Bay. Woodside has the first down. Sean Miller on the stop, number 98.
At this point of the game, especially when you're behind 10-0, I think it's very important for Green Bay not to get too nervous about being behind by 10 points. If they can stay patient like this, run the ball, get first downs, get some points, and figure, hey, we've still got a good 50 minutes or so, or 45 minutes left in this game. We've just got to hang in there.
Well, they made the comeback last week, but they would not like to be in that same hole again. First down at the 45. The Packers, spot formation right. Nowhere to go for Fullwood. Good penetration by the Rams defensive front. Miller and Reed leading the charge. Denver leading the Raiders 14-0 in the first quarter. And San Diego on top of Kansas City 7-0.
Second and 12.
That's a field goal up on Miami in the first.
That last play, we saw the Packers run the Rams' favorite play, that counter against the Rams' Eagle defense. That's a play that's getting a little old against that defense. Teams expect to see it, and they game plan for it. They'll stop that every time.
Well, that's what happened there. Second and 11. They really had it plugged. Short drop for Mikowski. Just out of the fingertips of Sharp. On the coverage was Clifford Hicks.
Sterling Sharp complaining a little bit, figured he got a few extracurricular bumps in there on that play. It's a hard call now. The way they have sort of modified this pass rule like this, Makowski getting fine protection, just lobs this ball up there. Nowadays, that DB can put his hand on the guy to test where he is. We can get incidental contact. They're both going for the ball. They're both looking at it. Now, 2 years ago, that would be pass interference. Now it's a heck of a good play by the defender, and just the guy tripped. It's not his fault.
Newman and Washington into the secondary for the Rams on his 3rd and long. Makowski right on target that time to Query, and the rookie has a first down. Green Bay at the 42-yard line. Newsom put a lick on him, but he held on.
Well, I tell you, we're going to see a couple of real good licks here. Makowski gets drilled by Farnese. Number 51 is going to come up here on a game. Moran can't get him. He drills Makowski. Query, great concentration, gets it right up under the chin. Great job. Jeff Query at a little Millikan University in Wisconsin.
What a treat talking to this young man last night, because when he came in to see our CBS group, it was clear he was trying to be super cool about being in the NFL. And out of a Division III school, you know this kid's excited about being on the Green Bay Packers. This is Sterling Sharp. Ball is loose. A Packer has it. Perry Kemp inside the 10-yard line. Now it came out of Sharp's hands, and Perry Kemp, an alert play to fall on it for Green Bay.
Coaches love to see running back and wide receivers. You'll see Sterling Sharp here at the bottom of the screen catch the ball. Coaches love to see guys that'll twist. They'll break tackles. They make guys miss. They dodge and move. He's got 2 hands on the ball here. He breaks another tackle. He goes to make another move here. Doesn't have 2 hands on the ball. Johnny Gray, number 25, strips the ball. Here's a pilot. You love this. This is fun to watch. Guys are going after the ball. It's actually a nice way to add another 10, 15 yards to a nice reception.
Well, there's the man who got it for Green Bay, and they're in scoring position when we return to start the second quarter in Anaheim. Two tight ends in West and Didier. Woodside and Fullwood in the backfield. Fullwood. Maybe 2 yards at the most. Good sliding coverage by the linebackers, putting the stop on him. Wiltshire, number 54, with the initial contact.
This is the part of the field that these LA Rams have always been tough. Heck, I played against them for 13 years. You get down here in the red zone, as you refer to it, from the 20 in, it shrinks the field. And Fritz Shermer, their defensive coordinator, told us Friday he loves that because those defensive backs only have a smaller area to cover. The linebackers can get more involved in any kind of run or scramble, and it makes it tough on an offense to find a hole.
Packers will see if they can find one. Makowski will throw. Good protection. Now flush. Touchdown. Fine block from Ron Hallstrom, the right guard. Makowski just took off up the middle. Interesting spike from the quarterback, too.
This is not a guy really lacking in confidence. No NFL quarterback has got a lack of confidence. This guy knows he can play in the NFL. He's a guy who likes to stand in there. He's not afraid to run. He will do it in a second. Here's Hallstrom. Great block on Strickland, and Makowski just takes it the rest of the way, breaking a tackle by Mike Wiltshire and rolls into the end zone. Comes up with his unique version of a flip we didn't quite get.
Chris Jackie, the rookie place kicker, with the point after. And we have ourselves an interesting ball game developing. 14-12 to go, first half. Rams by 3.
Is helping you do yours. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Tim Ryan and Randy Cross back here at Anaheim, and a good drive by the Green Bay Packers. The pass play from Makowski to Sharp, and the fumble that was recovered by Kemp, and then setting up the 8-yard run by Don Makowski, using up 4:17 on the clock. 10-7, Rams lead it, and Chris Jackie will kick it off. Delfino from the 7. 20-yard line by Mike Weddington, number 52.
We get one more look here at Mikowski's scramble and touchdown from a ground level to get a little bit better idea of what's going on here. Mikowski can't find anybody open. He knows he's getting some good pass protection. Ron Hallstrom very alertly is going to come out of the right corner of the screen here, puts a great block on Strickland. Kevin Green can't get there. Stewart can't get there. Mikowski scrambles into the end zone. It's something like this could really fire up a Green Bay Packers young offense.
The first down Rams from their 21-yard line. And whistles and flags everywhere as Everett held up on the ball, and Harris came in to say hello, and meanwhile a little pushing and shoving on the right side of the line. Like Brown and Jackie Slater.
False start, number 78. Still first down.
Slater with the false start. I don't know whether he's applauding the call there or
he was mad at Robert Brown. You drew me off.
Look at this game, 41-all in overtime, Buffalo and Houston. First and 15 for the Rams. Tight end Johnson in motion. Greg Bell running behind Buford McGee, straight ahead for about 7 yards, maybe 8. Johnny Holland and Blaze Winter on the tackle for Green Bay. Holland 50, Winter 68. Winter a backup defensive down lineman, getting some time here, can play the nose and end.
You know, we've seen the ground game of the Los Angeles Rams pounding this thing out. We've seen Henry Ellard and Jim Everett get together on these passes. Ernie Zampese has made this a complete offense by bringing the passing part in. This Ram offense is something to be really dealt with in the league now.
2nd and 9 left for the Rams. Everett gets time and has his man for a first down. Henry Ellard, Stills and Van Jakes drive him back, but he has first down yardage at the 42.
Here's Henry Ellard, number 80, coming off the ball. Driving on Van Jakes. Van Jakes, he of the former New Orleans Saints, just is not quite close enough to Henry Ellard. You can't give a Henry Ellard that much room. You've got to play him tighter and know that you're going to have a little help from the inside. They slam Henry down to the ground. Henry doesn't like it. The crowd boos. Big deal.
Well, the Saints victimized their former teammate Jakes a couple of times last week. And the Rams had indicated they thought they could do a little business there. Everett, wide open, Willie Anderson. To the 8-yard line of Green Bay, Willie Flipper Anderson. And it was Van Jakes burned again. 50-yard play.
Great play by Willie Anderson. On the inside of the slot here, you're going to see him come off the ball, a little fake and go. Look at him slow down and say, I'm not going to do anything. Goes into a full-speed sprint and fakes Van Jakes out. Once again, he's beat by at least 3 yards here. If the ball had been thrown out in front of him more, that was 6 points. Nice diving catch by Willie Anderson.
Bell inside the 5. Now for Green Bay, Randy, when you've plowed down the field, make a couple of good plays, get in the end zone, you don't like to have that one big strike on the next series against you.
It lets a lot of air out of your sails, you might say, as the old cliche goes. You're very excited, you're pumped up, you're ready. But this Ram offense, they've got the finesse of the ballet, but it's a ballet that'll come up and smack you in the face.
Well, they're going to have to come up big here defensively at the 5-yard line. The Green Bay Packers with the Rams an opportunity to widen their lead. McGee, touchdown. Perfectly timed pass, Everett to Buford McGee, just flaring out of the backfield into the corner of the end zone.
This is the way you expect a Super Bowl type team, like people think the Los Angeles Rams are, to react when somebody comes back and challenges them like that. What you do, you take the ball right down, you score your touchdown.
the point after. It is good. 78 yards in 5 plays for the score.
There's a ground level on a replay of this touchdown. Buford McGee, you saw flash him across the screen, number 24. Everett flips him out. Here it is. It's going to be 6 points right into your living room. Here comes Buford.
Rams by 10. Tim Ryan with Randy Cross, and as these statistics would indicate, pretty much the way the scoreboard reads, because the passing yardage goes to the Rams, and they've run the ball well, particularly with Bell, as expected, 55 yards, and of course 2 big plays by Anderson setting up Rams scores, and they lead by 10. Now, if you look at this game the way it is here, do the Green Bay Packers stay in their plan?
So far, I think they are, but they're being hit by an LA Rams team that's doing a combination of what John Robinson wants to do. He loves to see the running game, and the Ernie Zampese passing game is clicking perfectly.
So a good kickoff. Workman did not bring it out, and the Packers will start from their 20-yard line. Lindy Infante, head coach, who's got these guys with a very positive attitude. One of the Packer radio broadcasters, Jim Irwin, pointed out to me that, you know, they've really had 8 pretty good games in a row, because they started last year finishing the season well, had a good preseason, and have played well in the first 2 weeks of this year. And the first appearance of Tony Mandarich, much anticipated, number 77, their first pick out of Michigan State. 300 pounds. Long count by Mikowski here. Rams shifting their defense. Fullwood. Nice spin move by Fullwood for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards.
Mikowski seemed to check off right there. It appeared it was going to be a pass from the offensive lineman's stances, but Mikowski saw something probably that shut that pass off he was going to use and went to a run instead. This is a young guy right here in Mikowski who is starting to really gain the confidence of his teammates. They love to play for this guy. He's fiery. He'll spike the ball in front of defensive backs. And here's a guy that's got to learn to play for Don Mikowski, Tony Mandarich. Mandarich, on the last play, just sort of whipped on the defensive end and went downfield and tried to get a little piece of a linebacker.
He asked him how his first 2 weeks of practice in the NFL have been. He said, humbling. It was kind of a startling remark from Mandarich, the way he was talking after the draft. Mikowski completes to Kemp. Short of the first down, but about a 9-yard pickup. Well, let's see. Maybe they'll be close with the spot here. They may have a first down.
Well, big Tony Mandarich has finally been in an NFL game with a pass. They're worried about him and the run. He's got Kevin Green, one of the best pass rushers in the league, number 91. He cuts off the inside. Green can't go there, and he just pushes him upfield. He's got to be careful right here, pushing him in the back. Most NFL referees will see that. They'll throw a holding penalty on that for illegal use of hands.
Do they give him a rookie exemption first game?
Only on the roster for the first 2 weeks, but never on the field.
First down, Green Bay from their 30. Woodside. Flags are down as Woodside gets to the 50-yard line.
Looked like
Michael
a ticker
Stewart
tape parade out there. They got enough flags down on the field. There must be at least 2 different infractions.
19-yard gain, and see how it comes out here.
You know, with Tony Mandarich in there, you would like to think that the thinking would be, gee, let's go to 3-step drops. Let's make it easy on Tony. They're throwing 5, 7-step drops. Lindy Infante seems to think this guy can pass protect a little bit better than you might think.
Both fouls on Los Angeles. Lined up in the neutral zone. Number 58 is declined. Holding defense is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Well, if Tony Mandarich keeps blocking against Kevin Green, he better be careful. Kevin Green said Friday, I love to get guys, and I like to mix things up. I'll hit him in the mouth one time, then I'll go outside. Here he's going to try a power move on Mandarich here on the left side of your screen. Tries to bull rush him. Bad guy to try to bull rush. I mean, that's a bull in the truest sense of the word. But look for him to try to get Tony Mandarich upfield and rip underneath and come underneath and get after that quarterback.
Well, it's a Packer first down at midfield, and so much for using him on short yardage run situations. Another pass out of the hands of Kemp. Mandarich himself saying, I don't know the plays yet. I don't expect to play much. Also acknowledged that, yes, I've got a lot to learn in pass blocking. And here they come out throwing on his first series in the game.
Well, I think it's also a real confidence thing for him. If he can get out here and do some good pass blocking against a great pass rusher like a Kevin Green, it'll do him nothing but a world of good. He's a guy that needs confidence in his pass blocking. His offensive line coach made a comment that his feet aren't quite good enough to be a great pass blocker, but his athletic ability can make up for that.
2nd and 10 on the incompletion. 1 setback, 3 wide receivers. That's complete. Sterling shot. Close to the first down again. Clifford Hicks and Michael Stewart combined to stop him.
Well, you know, some people don't learn lessons real quick. Here Kevin Green says he can't be that strong. I'll try to run over him again. Hits him right in the face. No, that's not the... If you got a guy that's that big and has kind of moves to his side people aren't quite sure about, don't try to run him over. He'll absorb you.
Well, when you talk about strength, as a teammate, Rich Moran, says Tony's stronger than an acre of garlic. That's my favorite quote so far in his strength. Didier, and Mandarich and West all in there together on this short yardage, and the hole is open for Fullwood. First down, Green Bay to the 32-yard line.
On that play, they ran behind Tony Mandarich again, but this time he was on the left side as a left tight end in the short yardage. Now, he's got to leave the game for at least a play because he was an eligible receiver there at tight end. Here's Tony Mandarich, top of your screen against number 54, Mike Wilcher. Sticks him pretty good. Wilcher stands him up. Look at that. See, folks, being 6'5" and 315 pounds doesn't mean you're going to blow people 10 yards off the ball every play in the NFL.
First down, 32.
Packers have a first down now at the 32-yard line. He eludes one rusher, Green. Intended for Kemp, but just threw it away out of bounds. Barry Kemp, nearest man to it. Mikowski had pressure from Kevin Green.
You talk about a quarterback's instinct. That was the perfect example of a quarterback's instinct. He's standing there. Weingard got taken upfield. Green finally beat the tackle underneath. It wasn't Mandarich, it was Weingard. Was coming underneath for a sack, and Mikowski felt it. Scrambled out and spun out there and avoided the sack.
2nd and 10. Mikowski 7 of 15 at this point for 98 yards. Intercepted. Newsome. Touchdown. The Beach Boys and Surfers exult as Newsome goes the distance 80 yards. With the interception of Mikowski. Mikowski, the only guy to have a shot at him, tried to cross body there on the sideline, and Newsome just patiently waited for him to hit the ground and waltzed into the end zone.
I hate to argue with you, Tim. That wasn't a cross body. That was just a quarterback cringing.
Well, I said it was an attempt.
You know, we said earlier, Mikowski throws the ball sometimes. If he has a fault, he puts it where he shouldn't. And that was another example. Newsome read him beautifully.
Lansford with a point after. So the Rams widen it to 24-7.
A free safety loves to read the quarterback's eyes. Look, he's following his receiver the whole way. Newsome gets a better break on the ball than the receiver does. You don't even see where he was trying. Newsome breaks right in there. He's going to be uncontested. Well, I can't say uncontested. He'll get down here. Now, here comes Mikowski. Look at, is that a move? Did he mean to knock the heck out of him or what?
A little disdain for the QB there, Randy. We'll be back. Tim Ryan and Randy Cross at Anaheim, where the Rams have taken a 24-7 lead. Lansford's kickoff taken by Herman Fontenot. To the 24-yard line of Green Bay. And the interception returned by Vince Newsome, 81 yards officially, opening the lead to 24-7. Don Mikowski, 7 of 15 on the day, will now have to rally as he did last week if the Packers have a chance to win here today at Anaheim Stadium on a hot, sunny afternoon. The Rams took an early 10-0 lead. Majewski ran 8 yards to close the gap, and since then a pair of Rams touchdowns to make it 24-7.
I think Green Bay offensively has done what they wanted to. The key thing here is Majewski's made a couple of mistakes that the Rams have been able to really take advantage of.
2 costly pickoffs, 1 for the score. Fullwood out to the 30-yard line. Well, for an NFL update, let's go to our New York studios and Brent Musburger.
Well, Tim, this is the play in overtime, which does it for Buffalo. They are driving for field goal position. Instead, they get a lot more than that. It is 5 touchdowns on the day for Jim Kelly. Bills win it 47-41. Back to Ted.
Thanks, Brent. And I guess Houston had a shot to win that. Tony Zendejas missed a 38-yard field goal in the overtime, and Buffalo took advantage and went on to win. So they rebound from their loss to Denver Sunday night. Majewski on 2nd down and about 5. Behind Fullwood. Majewski under pressure on the play. Last week those numbers phenomenal, and it's hard to put 2 in a row together like that, but they have to get some kind of consistency out of this young quarterback for him to be the man.
Well, with right around 6 minutes left in the second quarter, you can't jump to conclusions, I think, too quickly, Tim. He had a great second half. He really made those numbers look more impressive with his 18 passes in a row last week. He's a guy that's got enough confidence to think if his teammates can hang in, I can make a difference. They're not out of this game yet.
Brent Farinage in at linebacker as the Rams on the passing down bring in the extra secondary and linebackers. Majewski up the middle, and it looks complete or not. Yes, it is. It's a good catch by Carl Bland, number 83. A diving grab by Bland. Anaheim crowd unhappy with it, but it'll stand. First down, Packers.
The first sign of a quarterback that might be getting a little rattled is usually that he's going to throw off his back foot and won't step up. The Rams are putting pressure on Majewski. Steps up beautifully right into the face of that pass rush. Real nice pass, but I don't happen to think Mr. Bland caught that before it bounced off the ground from that angle.
Well, I think the replay guys were waiting for the replay to look at it. They just got it before the ball was snapped. And they're going to have a peek at that. It was close, shall we say. Carl Bland, one of 7 Plan B guys, those free agents who came over under that NFL management decision on free agency.
Carl Bland on the bottom right of your screen right there. 83 will be coming across as the ball comes in. From this angle, we might not be able to quite see. Well, there it is. It bounces on the ground. Yeah, that should be an incompletion. I mean, it was almost a trap, but offensive guards are supposed to trap, not wide receivers. There it is again. He's just wrapping up around the ball, so remember, Majewski obviously thinks it's a completion. It'll be a gift, Don, if they give this one to you.
Upon further review, the play is ruled incomplete pass. 4th down.
Well, see, the crowd says we were right the whole time. Anaheim Stadium crowd, they all saw it. No matter where they were sitting, they had right view of that one. They all had it incomplete.
They gave that call the typical Los Angeles seated ovation.
Except for that 300 group of Brian Noble fans, 300 fans that he's got here.
You know, L.A. is not a bad place for a visiting team. This is not a hostile stadium to play in. It doesn't get too loud, and it seems no matter who plays in this stadium against the Rams, they've got at least 10,000, 20,000 fans here.
Darrell Henley, rookie back to receive Bracken's punt. Henley out of UCLA, the number 5 choice of the Rams this year. Bracken standing at the 15 of Green Bay. And down at the 33-yard line. And good move by Henley. Near midfield. Mark Murphy stopped him there. We'll be back. Tim Ryan with Randy Cross, 5:09 to go in the first half. The Rams on top 24-7. Randy, has been big plays that have hurt this Green Bay defense. this Rams offense has been able to come up with a couple of long passes, and then, of course, the Newsome return of an interception for a score. But otherwise, Green Bay's defense playing about the way you expected them to.
Well, they're playing well, but Brian Noble and Tim Harris and company on defense need to make some big plays like the Ram defense has made.
Del Pino out of the backfield. Got about 5. Their defense is not nearly as complex or as varied as the Rams is. Do you have a feeling about the styles of defense being played today? As Green Bay's kind of considered a basic 3-4. There's their coordinator, Hank Bullock.
Well, Green Bay is more of a 2-gap, and by 2-gap, I mean their down linemen are going to play right through that offensive lineman in front of him's helmet, and they're responsible for the 1 gap on their right or the gap on their left. LA is going to take more of a slanting, blitzing approach. Green Bay has to start taking more chances defensively.
Second down. Greg Bell. Look out. Touchdown. Yards for Greg Bell. Second touchdown of the day. Breaking through Blaze Winter and then finding lots of open real estate to the goal line.
Well, just about the time I say they have to take more chances, they get up there a little bit tighter, play more of a nose-up defense with the linebacker Brian Noble, 91, walked up over their left guard. Sure enough, Greg Bell cuts it back and goes 45 yards for a touchdown.
Lansford, the point after. These are deadly points here in the first half. The Rams really jumping on top of Green Bay and forcing them into another comeback situation in the second half.
Lindy Infanti's got to be getting very worried. Watch Duval Love, number 67, pull out here on Tim Harris. Great trap block. Gets up underneath Tim Harris, drives him back. Greg Bell cuts back over the middle, and from here on, it's Greg Bell's instincts and speed. No one's going to catch him now. Tim Harris tries to get in there, make an arm tackle, but can't quite get to him. It's starting to get critical for the Green Bay Packers. It's no longer a cut. We're talking hemorrhage.
31-7. And this is a young, growing team that trying to duplicate what they did 2 weeks in a row would appear to be a little unrealistic. New Orleans Saints and L.A. Rams, two well-established teams with playoff visions ahead, although the Saints struggled, and a week ago perhaps people have changed their opinion of New Orleans.
Well, you talk about this Green Bay Packer team and the difference in the attitude. Lindy Infanti's got him more relaxed. He's got him more confident. I think with his kind of leadership and the veteran leadership they have on this team right now, even being down 31-7 is not going to be a real time for this team to lay down. They will not lay down.
Lance
45-yard run by Bell for a score. His longest as a Ram. Coming over in the Dickerson three-way deal. On the goal line, Workman. Vince Workman, the rookie, all the way out to the 47-yard line of Green Bay. The rookie from Ohio State. And speaking of colleges, next Saturday, Auburn and Tennessee at 2:30 Eastern Time. Our CFA action, number 4 ranked Auburn and 14 Tennessee. They were both idle yesterday.
Well, Tennessee wasn't idle 2 weeks ago. They played a team in UCLA that was supposed to be a little bit better than them. Tennessee's proven so far to be the surprise of the top 20. They just ripped the Bruins.
I'm sorry to hear that on your behalf, Randy. It'll be the battle of the Reggies. Reggie Slack from Auburn and Reggie Cobb from Tennessee. Two quarterbacks going at each other next week, 2:30 Eastern. First down, Packers at the 47-yard line. Mikowski has to take it out of bounds. Good coverage downfield. Forced out by Mike Peel, rookie lineman of the Rams out of Illinois.
This is the situation. There's Tony Manders, the big offensive tackle. It's not a bad place to be, Tony, on the sideline when you're down 31-7, especially against the Rams, because they're standing over there in the Ram defensive huddle. They're smiling. They know you got to throw. Kevin Green's thinking, well, gee, I could pad a few sacks here. I can get me another one. I got 3 on the season. 2-3 before the half, and I can get into the second half. I'm ready. They love to see an offense that has to throw.
That was ruled a sack with the 2-yard loss. Mikowski forced out of bounds by Peel. 2nd and 12. Woodside, the ball comes loose. Rams have it. Jerry Gray at the 25-yard line.
Even things good are starting to turn bad for Lindy Infante and the Green Bay Packers. Mikowski stands in good, gets good pass protection. Last minute, sees his receiver, flips it out here to Bland. Now watch 23 come up and just comes up and knocks the ball out of his arms. Woodside, I'm sorry, not Bland. That is what a defensive back is trained to do from the first day of Pop Warner football. If you get behind a guy, you come up and you knock the ball out of his hands. Good play right here. Here comes the right hand foul. Knocks that ball right out of Woodside's hands. A receiver has got to be thinking ball when you get in the open field like that.
Gray's recovery as the Rams the football again. Gray fell to the 30-yard line. 3:40 still to play here in the first half, and that's the 3rd Packer turnover.
And they haven't been little turnovers either. They've been big ones. 2 big interceptions and now a bad fumble. Veteran Mark Murphy, number 37 in the middle of your screen, 10 years now with the Green Bay Packers. He's been a mainstay there for a lot of years. He's been known mainly for his hitting early in his career. Now he's a center fielder.
Everett for Ellard, off his fingertips, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and about 6. 3:11 to play here in the first half at Anaheim. The Rams 31-7. Big plays and turnovers have done it for Los Angeles. They have the 49ers next week. We had the sense that they were perhaps looking a little beyond Green Bay to that, but right now they're flying high along with their Rams official flag. Ron Brown into the backfield for the Rams. And they give him the ball, but it didn't go anywhere as it was smelled out by Blaze Winter. He made the stop on him. Flag down on the play. Ron Brown, normally a wide receiver, but of course that great speed that he has, the former track star, and they...
Illegal motion. 83 offense is declined. It'll be 4th down.
Willie Anderson illegally in motion. But Ron Brown, they tried to sneak in there and get some real estate for him to run in from scrimmage. Packers stopped it. LA will punt. Dale Hatcher's first punt of the half. And it's a good one. Mickey Sutton on the return, former Ram, and got it to the 31-yard line. Well, next Sunday on CBS. It all starts with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern Time, and some of you will see Atlanta at Green Bay. Randy and I will be there to see the Packers and the Falcons. Washington at New Orleans, the other early game, and then doubleheader games. The Rams at San Francisco, and some of you will see the Giants at Dallas. First down at the 31-yard line for Green Bay, and almost critical for them to make something good happen here with 2:44 to go in the half. They had a good drive going until the fumble in the last series. Mikowski, Sterling Sharp. First down, Packers. Newsom on the stop. And Clifford Hicks.
Mikowski's in his 2-minute offense right now. Sterling Sharp Sterling Sharp, it's very important for him to start getting bigger chunks when he gets receptions. He's not a possession guy. He should be a big play receiver.
A sack on Mikowski. Sean Miller came in free. Back at the 32-yard line. Mikowski, 9 of 20. 127 yards in this first half. Pressure again, this time from Green. He's got the ball off, but it's incomplete. Carl Bland took a real shot from Jerry Gray and could not hold on.
Jerry Gray learned that nice hitting maneuver at the University of Texas with guys like Johnny Johnson in the defensive backfield when Gray was younger. But Bland's going to come across the middle here. That's the type of that's the time for the part of the field. Receivers get a little bit edgy about going in there. Bland sees the ball, knows he's going to get hit, and Mr. Gray accommodates him, puts a nice little lick on his shoulder.
So that leaves third down, 17. Mikowski, and it's picked off by Wilcher. He bobbles the ball, but it's then grabbed by Strickland. And the Rams have it again. They can do no wrong.
As memorable as last week in the New Orleans game was for Don Mikowski, this is turning into a day he would love to forget, but the fans in Green Bay most likely won't let him. He throws it, and once again, a place with a badly thrown pass. Wilcher was the only guy that had a legitimate chance of getting it. He fumbles the ball. Strickland picks it up, says, no, I'm a natural fullback. Let me do it.
So the Rams in good position again at the Packer 46. We'll be back. Here in the first half, the Los Angeles Rams with a commanding 31-7 lead and the football following the Mike Wilcher interception. Fred Strickland recovering the bobble by Wilcher. Rams keep the ball and they strike to Ellard. Flag down, probably for a tackle out of bounds. Ellard got to the 26-yard line of Green Bay.
Face mask, defense, number 23. It'll be 5 yards added to the end of the run. First down by the distance.
It's a grasping the face mask penalty against Tiger Green, so they get an extra 5, and they'll spot it at the 21-yard line.
You get a guy like Ellard running free in the defensive backfield. Defensive backs will grab anything they can get their hands on in order to put that guy down, and Tiger Green obviously got caught.
Everett sails it out of bounds. Good coverage downfield by the Packers, and when the rush finally came, he unloaded.
You know, that last play by Henry Ellard, most coaches will teach a wide receiver, if you get out in that part of the field, you're open over the middle, turn it straight upfield. Don't try to dance around and dodge guys that are trying to tackle you, because you'll only lose yardage. Ellard lost yardage, but him doing that is part of this Ram offense that gives it the explosion. He can lose 10 yards avoiding tacklers and make 50.
And more likely to risk the wrath of the coaches when he's up 31-7.
Yes, it makes it a little bit easier to go to the improv mode.
Second down. Bell smashing into the 17-yard line. Last week, these Green Bay Packers down 21-0 in the second period, came back to beat the Saints 35-34, and it was their second best comeback ever. The other one, 23 points down, was against the Rams in 1982. They'll need a miracle now. Randy, that really says it all here for the Rams. They've been alert and they've taken advantage of it. Mikowski has had his problems.
He definitely has. You know, when you're young as Don is, and you start making mistakes like in an every other game situation, you have a great game, then you have a so-so game, people start saying, well, gee, it all depends on what quarterback shows up as to how well the Green Bay Packers are going to do.
Yet Lindy Infante has said, I won't give you the quick hook. He wants him to grow on this job. Everett. The tight end, Damone Johnson, to the 11-yard line. John Anderson on the tackle. And here's a guy, typical example. Jim Everett, in his 4th year out of Purdue, coming over in that big trade in '86, got him here to the Rams, and they said, we're going to let this guy grow with him. And he's developed into what now appears to be a very mature quarterback, and just in his 4th year in the NFL. John Robinson has been patient with him, and that's what Lindy Infante wants to do with Majkowski.
I think Jim Everett also had the luxury of having John Robinson as a head coach here. John Robinson loves to run the ball, and Everett was on a team that was very run-oriented. He wasn't a straight drop-back, let's throw every time quarterback when he entered the league.
On a 4th and 1, the Rams are going to go for it. Bell inside the 5 and nearly escaped to the end zone. Mark Murphy made the saving tackle. First down, L.A. inside the 5.
See a replay here from the ground level. You're standing in the end zone watching the Rams. Tony Slayton and Irv Pankey out there pulling. Great block. Bell cuts up there. Nobody even touches him until he gets to about the 7-8 yard line. Green Bay's got to shore up that run defense. If you got to do anything against the Rams, you got to take away the run.
117 yards of running by Bell, including that 45-yard touchdown gallop. Timeout on the field, and chance to remind you that coming up at halftime, Brennan Irv will have all the scores, highlights, and latest information from around the NFL today. And like the last Sunday, all kinds of crazy things happening, high-scoring games, upsets. It's been a very exciting first 3 weeks of activity in the National Football League. This team, coached by that man, Lindy Infante, provided some of that last week with their come-from-behind victory over the Saints. The Saints lost at Tampa Bay today. Suddenly, team everybody thought was going to do something in early season difficulty. First and goal, Rams. Everett to the corner, and incomplete over the head of Johnson. Johnson was all alone in the corner of the end zone. By the time Everett spotted him, fired it in a hurry, and he fired it high.
We talked about the excitement this year so far in the NFL. It's been incredible. John Robinson from the Rams brought up the fact, how many 300-yard passing games have there been by quarterbacks in only 2 weeks so far? It's been incredible, the number of points and the yards that are being put out by these offenses.
Rams with a second and goal, up 31-7. Everett, a very handy 9 of 15, 171 yards. As we pointed out, it's been the big plays in this first half of LA. Bell again, and they shut him down. James Campen, normally an offensive guard, playing over on the defensive side, made the stop for Green Bay. Another one of the Plan B free agents came from New Orleans, a center and a guard, getting some defensive time.
That's not unusual for an offensive lineman to play in the goal line defense. I remember John Colma back in 1981 for the 49ers was in on that famous goal line stand against the Bengals in Super Bowl 16. So Mr. Campen's not breaking any new ground, but it's great to see a guy that's able to contribute. He's a third-team center, and he's a kind of, you want to get him in where he can do something.
Did you ever play any defense?
Not on purpose. only after an interception. I played it in high school, and I got to UCLA, and they said, nah, you're going to be grabbing people and keeping them off running backs and quarterbacks, not getting after them.
Well, Lindy Infante full of optimism last night, but realism also when we talked to him, because he's been around this game long enough to know that the last week's game doesn't mean anything for this week's game. Tough, mature team, the Rams coming together, and he knew he had his hands full today. He's got a half to turn it around. Third and goal. Johnson, touchdown. Johnson, four-year man from Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo. Big guy, 6'4", 250-pound tight end.
one of the new breeds of tight end in the NFL. They're big, obviously 6'4", 250. They're going to run a 40 anywhere from 4'6" to 4'8", and boy, they block. They're like the old tackles of the old days.
Barefoot getting a workout here in this first half. 38-7, Ram lead.
You know, the Rams were concerned about the tight end position this preseason. Damone Johnson wasn't in camp, and they got Pat Carter from the Lions. Jim Everett getting some pretty good pass protection. Tim Harris leaks late on him, but Damone Johnson, nobody's on him, and you're not going to stop a guy that's 6'4", 250 yards when he catches the ball on the 1-yard line. He is going to score. We'll see Damone on the right-hand side of the screen, number 86. Jim Everett's going to drop straight back, and he'll cut. Damone Johnson, number 86, will cut back across, just a little delay. John Anderson dumps him over the middle. Someone was supposed to pick him up. My guess it might have been Brian Noble. Should have filled up in the middle of the zone and picked up Damone Johnson. Don Majkowski could use a few of those touchdown passes, whether they're 5 yards to his tight end or 50 yards to a wide receiver.
Well, if you join us along the way, it was only 10-0 at the end of the first period. Rams on top, and then the Packers got on the board with Majkowski's 8-yard run. But since then, the Rams have made all kinds of good things happen for Ram fans. And now lead it 38-7.
And after that, 7. Kansas City 6. And after that, Denver 28.
So Lansford will kick it off. Mark Murphy leaving the field early for Green Bay. Might have been injured in the last defensive series. Short kickoff taken at the 25-yard line. Scott Stephen, reserve linebacker. I'm sure he was surprised to see himself getting a return opportunity. He was so excited he put his knee down right away.
That's a special team coach's nightmare. Guy McIntyre, if you remember back in Super Bowl 19, got a kickoff to him for the 49ers, and promptly this guy said, "Get up and run." Guy got up, he fumbled. At least he had the presence of mind, Mr. Stevens, number 54, to stay where he should have been. And they have put the Pawski on Majkowski so far.
Yes, they have. He put a little on himself, too, the young quarterback. But, you know, he got it together in the second half against the Saints last week. I hate to say that he can repeat that, but he's a confident young guy. Herman Fontenot's first carry with a flag down. Fontenot, the former Cleveland Brown, picked up about 8 yards. Appears to be a holding call against the Green Bay Packers, so...
Holding, 65. Still first down.
Ron Hallstrom, when things go bad, they go all bad. These guys, I would think, just want to get to the locker room here and try to regroup for a second-half run at it.
3. Washington 30.
11 seconds on the clock. This will be a test of Lindy Infante's locker room oratory at halftime.
Without a doubt. You know, we're looking at Ron Hallstrom there. We watched him before the game standing next to Manders. Hallstrom 6'6", 300. He looked tiny.
Well, apparently they both weighed in at 300 pounds on Tuesday at the regular weekly weigh-in. So Fontenot gets it out to the 35-yard line with a run. Anaheim Stadium in Anaheim, California, right next to Disneyland, and it has been a hot, sunny afternoon here in Los Angeles, and the Rams have not seemed to have been affected by the heat at all. They have rolled up a 38-7 halftime lead over the Green Bay Packers, and the Rams will start with the ball first in the second half.
Third quarter.
Chris Jackie, the rookie, will kick it off from UTEP, and he's had a good preseason for Green Bay. Coach Infante thinks he's found himself a good kicker. Had a 57-yard field goal in the preseason. As the coach pointed out, wind-aided, but nonetheless, he was 6 of 8 in the field goal category during the exhibition season.
Chris Jackson.
Ron Brown from the 4-yard line to the 33-yard line of Los Angeles. Vernell Dent made the stop there. Dent's been alternating with Johnny Holland at one of the inside linebacker positions. Suffered a cut forehead last week, so it's a little sore for him to wear the helmet, but he's out there doing his thing. Jim Everett comes on the field for Los Angeles. A very poised, confident young man these days, and he's had himself a terrific first half. Academic All-American out of Purdue. Both his parents are teachers in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is Bell, tripped up right at the line of scrimmage by Tim Harris, falling forward for a pickup of maybe 3 on the play. See where they spot the ball.
Well, you get a 31-point lead. You're looking to practice your running game. You're going to be out there. You're going to have your offensive line pounding a little bit. You don't want to give the defense too many chances, and Tim Harris is a good example of a guy that might have a chance of getting a shot on Jim Everett in this type of situation. They're going to want to really pound it out and eat up time on the clock.
Well, where he went down was behind the line of scrimmage, and they spot the ball for about the loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. Holohan in motion. Bell again. And again, nowhere to turn upfield at the corner. John Anderson was there, along with the safety Mark Murphy. Murphy left the field a little bit early, Randy, at the end of the first half with some heat exhaustion. It's in the high 80s out there.
It's tough down here. They're used to more humidity. It's a dry heat down here in Southern California, and naturally they're used to being in that nice clean air of Wisconsin, and the air down here in Southern California this weekend was not what you refer to as exactly clean and healthy.
Well, evidently they get this kind of hot week in September, even though it should be fall in Southern California too. Anderson, Ellard, and Cox, 3 wide receivers in. Everett for Ellard, and it is tipped away. Getting a hand on it, Van Jakes, with Ellard open behind him, but Jakes leaping high to bat it away.
The Rams brought that old counter play out again with a play-action pass. Something you're a little surprised to see them having Jim Everett out there running around in this type of a situation. They're going to sort of empty the playbook here. They're going to try a lot of different things you're not normally going to see out of the Rams.
Dale Hatcher, just his 2nd punt today. Here's a guy that went back home in the offseason to beef up, and beef up he did to about 255 pounds. That's a big punter. The 30-yard line, Mickey Sutton. Getting to the 39-yard line of Green Bay. So Makowski brings out the Packer offense. He'll try to get something going after the 39-yard punt by Hatcher. You can see it's still plenty hot down on the field. The sun is sinking behind us on our side of the stadium in the west, but it is still very hot out on the field.
The Packers left Green Bay. It was in the 40s.
Running back.
Brent Fullwood slipped slightly as he made the cut, but still turned it into about a 5-yard gain before Mel Owens stopped him. Number 58. Dilweg signaling in the next play to Makowski, and there is the big guy. Looks like he's bored with inactivity there.
Tony, we keeping you up?
You know.
That's great. He's ready to go, though. He's got to really want to get in. Look, his helmet's all strapped up. He's just coach. He figures if he gets next to the signal guy, the coach can't ignore him.
Well, we'll see. His schedule to get some more play. He worked the whole series, and they had a good thing going until the fumble. Makowski's got a man open and overthrows Sterling Sharp. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Sterling Sharp clearly broke free on that play, and Don Makowski stood in there well, was getting a little rush, and just overthrew him.
Lindy Infante said he's much happier with the play of Sterling Sharp here in his 2nd year. The number 1 choice a year ago. He's got 11 catches in 2 games. Feeling that he's kind of handed him the ball as the receiver, if you will. They cut Stanley and Epps, and they've indicated to Sharp that they expect him to be the big play man that a number 1 draft choice should be. 3rd down. In and out of the hands of Sharp, and there's a flag down on the play, and it'll be an interference call, it would appear, on Clifford Hicks. Hicks, number 28, had the coverage.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 28. First down.
So the Pack has a first down approaching midfield. And that brings on a bunch of new Ram defenders. Reed, Peel coming back, getting some time. Mike Peel, their number 3 pick out of Illinois this year. Or last year, pardon me, in '88. Spent last year on injured reserve. There he is, big kid. 6'4", 265. Kemp in the slot left. And they go to him. He's hit immediately, but he hung on to the ball. Jerry Gray made the pop on him, and he got maybe a yard. That's about it. So the temperatures on the field continue in the mid-80s. A little bit of a wind, certainly not a factor for the players down there, and kind of high humidity, 68 degrees. But Californians enjoy this weather. It's kind of a second summer in September, but the Green Bay Packers are just soon things cool off in more ways than one, eh, Randy?
It's not going to cool off too much for Don Mikowski. You see Greg Bell enjoying the breeze from the fan on the sideline of the Rams, but Mikowski's going to get some heat. Fritz Shermer, as the defensive coordinator for the Rams, is going to start throwing a lot of things at him.
Mikowski for the tight end West, and it is incomplete. Scrambled for the ball, but he never had it. And that's being signaled down on the field by the officials. Mel Owens on the coverage.
Don Mikowski is going to throw the ball out here to the right to Mr. West. The ball comes in. Let's see here. Ball is in his chest. I don't know. I don't know if he had the ball trapped against his chest or the linebacker pressed the ball against his chest. It's going to be a tough call.
The old slow motion view there, though. You know, sometimes that can be deceiving.
That's true. Here from a different angle, the ball, we'll say it be pressed up against his chest. I don't know. It's a tough call. He may have, he may not. That's one of the jobs. I think the refs do an unbelievable job. I think we get to see things in slow motion. They don't have that luxury. They got to make a snap decision.
Well, sometimes the slow motion is deceiving, and it looks like they're reviewing it as we speak. The point is, if you see that in regular speed, again, my thought would be that it would not even be in doubt. I think sometimes the slow-mo look at it can be deceiving. Let's see it in regular speed. Thank you, gentlemen. Downstairs, our producer Bob Monsbach and company.
It looks like it's stripped out real quick.
I mean, it's just, you know, bing, bing.
The rules would tell you the receiver has to have possession of the ball and have both feet down for it to be a legal possession. And you can't really tell on regular speed. Happens so quick.
Now, the play is going to stand as called by us here and by the officials down there. Incomplete. So it is a third down, Green Bay, and 9 in midfield, and we used up a little sunshine time there, working that one over. Mikowski with a flag down. Sharp with a fine catch, climbing the ladder for a first down. Green Bay at the 34-yard line. Clifford Hicks had the coverage on him. Now, that's what Lindy Infante wants to see and get from Sterling Sharp.
Well, he said Sterling Sharp didn't even score a touchdown last year until about the 15th, 16th game. He can't have that from a guy that's supposed to be, like you said earlier, a real big play.
91 defense lined up in the neutral zone is declined. Pass is ruled complete. First down.
Nowadays in the NFL, wide receivers do many, many, many things. One of the things they've got to do, when the quarterback puts the ball up there, you got to go after it. Great example of that by Sterling Sharp. He put it up there where only Sharp could get to it, and he was willing to go get it and get those feet in.
Play action, and Mikowski flush now. He'll take off with it. Takes it out of bounds. Picking up about 6 yards on the play. Inside the 30 to the 28 of Los Angeles.
Kevin Green's starting to be more and more of a factor here. He knows they've got to pass, so he's pulling everything out of his bag of tricks coming from his left linebacker spot. He is getting after Weingart.
Clint Didier comes in.
A quarterback's worst dream. I think Nightmare is closer. He is a very intense guy. Kevin Green, we talked to him Friday. Very businesslike. Heck, he had his game face on Friday afternoon when we spoke to him.
Yeah, and his baseball cap on backwards. The Hulk Hogan look happening there.
He's just trying to keep the sun off his neck.
Woodside to the 20-yard line. First down, Green Bay. Good drive going here for the Packers. Tim Ryan with Randy Cross here at Anaheim Stadium. The Los Angeles Rams had a 10-0 lead at the end of the first quarter and then turned it into a 38-7 lead at halftime, and that's where we are here. But the Packers now driving upfield with a good-looking drive engineered by Don Mikowski. First down just outside the 20.
If you're thinking long-term for your season, you want a team to react to a bad situation like this with coolness and efficiency.
Woodside, good defensive work by the Rams, stringing it out, giving them nowhere to go, and everybody around the ball. We heard so much of Fritz Schirmer, the defensive coordinator of the Rams, telling us that that's what he wants these guys to do, especially when they're looking upfield, to be able to have everybody get to the ball. Strickland made the initial hit.
And here you see Packers 88.8% of the time they're going to get a touchdown so far this season. A little deceiving. It's only 2 weeks, but it gives you a good idea. These guys are starting to really grasp Lindy Infante's offensive system.
Second down and a long 8. One setback forward. Got a man open in the middle. That's Sharp. Sharp fights his way to the end zone. Touchdown. Sterling Sharp carrying Michael Stewart with him. And a good drive, an 18-yard score, culminating that good-looking drive.
There he is on the inside, number 84 in the middle of the screen, cuts across. He's going to catch the ball. Watch, he hesitates like nobody's going to hit me. Oh, geez, okay, I'll go straight upfield. Good drive. He drives through there. The Rams are a team you can see that is ahead. They're arm tackling. You can't arm tackle in the NFL. You've got to put your arms around a guy and drive.
The point after is good from Jackie, and it is 38-14. Nearby Disneyland, where lots of dreams and fantasies are built, and Los Angeles Rams fans are thinking big things this year for their team. And on the basis of the score right now, they have a right to, but the Packers have scored to make it 38-14, and the Rams must be thinking, well, a week ago, we must remember what the Packers did to New Orleans, coming back from 21 points down. From the goal line, Ron Brown, near the 20. And the Rams offense will start from there. Green Bay going 61 yards in 9 plays. Mikowski topping it off with an 18-yard scoring strike to Sterling Sharp. So that's the kind of a drive Lindy Infante would hope that they could generate coming out. Got to be a little down after the events of the first half, and to see your young quarterback take them downfield, just what you were talking about, Randy.
Well, exactly. I think they're a little stung. They're a little embarrassed. And they're just out to make a point. They're being realistic. They're not going to try to score 31 points all at once. They're going to nick away and just have a good time and prove they belong in this league.
Everett wants to throw on first down. He's sacked. So the Packer defense comes alive. And look at the spirit exhibited there. Harris and Sean Patterson.
And that's the Green Bay Packers' first sack of 1989. Patterson will be the second person on the left here, working against Robert Cox, number 72, the left tackle for the Rams, and he just pulled a little cloth, runs around him, and meets Tim Harris at the quarterback. It seems that they got there at the same time. It'll be up to the scorekeeper as to who gets that sack.
Cox, your fellow UCLA Bruin alumnus, playing for Irv Pankey, who left the game back in the first half with a nick. Cox has gone for Pankey since. Bell with flags down. He's got nowhere to go. Packer pursuit stops him near the 10-yard line. Murphy and Patterson again on the hit. Fired up Sean Patterson out of Arizona State, their number 2 choice a year ago. Infante tells us that he thinks this guy's right on track to becoming a real good defensive player. As a rookie last year, breaking him in slowly, but now a full-time starter.
Defense, number 97. Penalty is accepted. It'll still be second down.
Harris picks up the infraction.
Well, that's one of the bad things. Tim Harris moves around an awful lot. He can go anywhere in that defense he wants, and he gets offsides once in a while. There's total offense. Green Bay 248, Rams 282, but the story has been the interceptions and the fumbles for the Green Bay Packers.
Well, that's it. They've actually been more than holding their own here in terms of yardage. Second down. Everett. Picked out. Brian Noble. Noble to the 22-yard line. The pass intended for Holohan. Not a good throw from Everett. And Noble's got at least 300 people here cheering and yelling for him, his friends and family from Anaheim.
I tell you, the Green Bay Packer defense is showing some of this fire and enthusiasm we mentioned at the top of the show. Brian Noble, number 91, is in the middle of your screen here. Jim Everett's not really pressed. He sees a few hands in his face, steps to the side, throws right into Noble's hands. Maybe Everett, they talked before the game. He says, Brian, I know you're from here. You got family. I'll throw you a little gift. The Rams had better wake up. This is a team that has shown last week they have the ability to come back on anybody, and the New Orleans Saints they did it to are not a bad team.
First down at the Rams 22. Kempton shot the receiver. Good by Perry Kemp. Richard Brown, the linebacker, number 92 out of San Diego State, made the tackle on him. Held him to about a 7, maybe 8-yard gain. Let's see where they spot it. Just inside the 15. That'll leave 2nd and 3.
I tell you from experience, having been in a situation like this before, you're talking in the huddle right here, let's hang in there. Let's get some points. They score another touchdown, it won't be let's hang in there. It'll be we can come back. We can beat these guys.
Woodside stacked up at the 10-yard line, but he has a first down. Ram came away with the ball, but I believe play had been whistled dead. Michael Stewart came up with the ball after Brown made the hit, but it is still Packer ball. 38-14. Ram leads, 7:18 to go in the third quarter, and the Packers threatening again, having just scored minutes ago. Didier hustling onto the field. John Robinson, I'm sure, is going to send wake-up calls out if the Packers get this in the end zone. He will vocalize along the sideline. Fullwood. Touchdown. That's the kind of running that they have wanted from Brent Fullwood since they picked him number 1 in '87. He hasn't delivered it until this year. 11 yards for the score.
A sure sign of a team that's not playing with emotion is one that will not tackle correctly. He breaks 1, 2, 3 tackles. Great run by Brent Fullwood. The Rams better stop looking at the menus on the sideline of the nice restaurants here in Orange County and start paying more attention to guys like Brent Fullwood here in the Green Bay Packers.
Jackie with a point after. And we've got a long way to go, folks, and suddenly 38-21, a margin that could decrease further. You're looking at Vince Newsom, number 22, giving a pep talk, we presume, to that Rams defense, which has given up 2 quick touchdowns here in the third quarter. And now the lead is 38-21, and he was being quite vocal to his teammates there moments ago. Green Bay kicking it off. Jackie. Ron Brown from the 4-yard line. Sideline. To the 44-yard line. Johnny Holland got him, but it was the kicker, Jackie, who slowed him up. Well, that could have been a problem. Let's go back to that touchdown.
Here's Michael Stewart lined up right here at strong safety over the tight end. You got an angle right here down on this guy. Brent Fullwood is going to just run right through here and break through. The key, really, is you got Newsom here, and about 2 other guys are going to get shots on him, and they're not going to make the tackle. Brent Fullwood's running hard, but the Rams right now are lacking the zing and the aggressiveness they need. Clifford Hicks misses him, Newsom misses him, and he's in.
So a good return by Ron Brown on the kickoff has the Rams first down at their 43. Buford McGee gets a couple to the 45. Now this has been quite an interesting game in the way it has developed as McGee gets some turf removed from his helmet. You can see the early lead by the Rams and then a huge one at halftime. But 2 touchdowns here in the third by Green Bay, shades of what they did a week ago to New Orleans, made this much more interesting. Kickoff return by Brown, giving the Rams good field position, however. 2nd and 8. Everett eludes Harris, but Harris gets him again. Back to the 39-yard line.
And that's Tim Harris's first solo sack of the year. He's excited. He told us last night, I got to get some sacks. They're moving me around. They're letting me freelance. I've got to get some results from it. You're not going to see him coming out of the right-hand side. Buford McGee, number 24, is going to try to block him. He comes inside, misses it the first time. McGee comes back and blocks him. Sign of a great defensive lineman, persistent. He comes back, and he doesn't get away the second time.
He can move that big man, that's for sure.
And he says, what do you think of me now, guys?
Gave a little Mike Tyson look. 3rd down at 15. Everett, complete to Ellard. Dropped immediately by Murphy. And the Rams will have to punt.
What we're seeing, Tim, is a Green Bay defense that's playing the way they said they wanted to last night. Talking to Brian Noble and Dave Brown, they said we've got to be aggressive. We don't have to worry about Ellard. We don't have to worry about Everett. We have to stop the Rams, not one person.
So Hatcher will come in to punt, and Green Bay will quickly get the ball back. So they are doing exactly what they need to do to launch what has to figure as an improbable comeback. Still got a long way to go. Hatcher's punt goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So we'll return to Anaheim Stadium. 4:34 still to play in the third. Rams on top. Tim Ryan and Randy Cross in Anaheim Stadium, where things have heated up beyond the temperature on the field. Green Bay, with 2 consecutive touchdowns, has completely dominated this third quarter.
-5 total offense for the Rams. Everett had 170-some-odd yards. Bell had 117, 120 yards in the first half. Green Bay's playing the kind of defense that will enable them to get right back in this game.
Gowski airs it out. On the money. Sterling Sharp to the 20-yard line.
The Rams are making a big mistake. They're letting a very enthusiastic, veteran-led team like the Green Bay Packers start getting excited again about being in the game. From the top of the screen, we're going to see this gentleman right there, number 84, Sterling Sharp, going one-on-one. Mikowski just fakes a little play action. Clifford Hicks turns to run with Sharp right here. Mikowski throws it as far as he can, and it's right over the shoulder. Beautiful concentration. Nice catch, Sterling Sharp.
Clifford Hicks had the coverage and hauled him down, but not before he got to the 22. A 58-yard gain. 6 catches on the day. Incomplete, as the intended receiver, Woodside, appeared to stumble as he hit the grass from the infield dirt here in the baseball configuration. Jerry Gray had the coverage for the Rams. 2nd down.
This is a good time for Don Mikowski to temper his enthusiasm. He's probably getting a little pumped up now. He's getting excited. This is another time, like earlier in the game, where Don might be trying to force a pass. He's got to take a few deep breaths and concentrate.
3 interceptions in the first half for Mikowski, but he rallied from a bad first half a week ago. Lots of time for him. Goes to the release man. That's Fullwood. He gets to the 15 and takes a hard hit but holds on. Fred Strickland, number 53, with the pop. Well, a quick look at the NFL activity earlier today, and that was quite a thriller. San Francisco from behind to beat the Eagles. Giants beating up on Phoenix. The Cardinals coming off a good win a week ago over Seattle. Washington whipping up on Dallas. And look at the numbers here. 47-27, continued high-scoring game. Upset there, Pittsburgh over Minnesota. To get to the rest, 3rd down and 4. 2 wide receivers for Green Bay. Again, Mikowski slips and recovers. Has the 1st down. Inside the 10, they'll mark it at the 7.
Lindy Infante giving a few instructions. He'll be bringing a play in. Mikowski looking downfield is going to get some pressure. He's not going to make anybody forget about Carl Lewis and his speed. But Mikowski very smartly goes for the 1st down marker, gets as much as he can, and gets out of bounds before somebody can get a shot on him.
Clint Didier brought in the play. He lines up double tight with West. The Rams take a timeout, and we'll be back at Anaheim Stadium in a moment. Well, you think time just slips away. It does sometimes, but suddenly it can magically reappear. It did here during the timeout, which was called by the Rams. The clock ticked down to 21. Look at this, folks. You've just gained some time back. Hard to do that, isn't it, Life?
Well, we went away there, and not only were the Rams not paying much attention lately, neither was their timekeeper.
2:45 remains, 3rd quarter. Green Bay 1st down inside the 10. Forward to the 2. Forward looks like a whole new man to me. I mean, watching him over the first 2 years of his Green Bay career, he's running with abandon now.
Well, he's comfortable with the system now. Now he's able to play his game. Before, he was so worried about making mental mistakes and being able to properly absorb the offense that he wasn't able to play Brent Fullwood's football.
Quick look at some other final scores in earlier. Tampa Bay handing the Saints their 2nd loss. Green Bay 2nd and a goal to go. Mandarich is in the lineup as a tight end on the left, number 77. The pass to the right side, touchdown, Ed West. And those Packer fans in the end zone down there, the Brian Noble family and friends, are getting something to cheer about. They're a small, lonely group among the thousands here cheering for the Rams, but right now they're coming alive, pom-poms and all. Jackie with a point after. (38-28). 10-point deficit, 2:34 still to play in the 3rd quarter.
Well, here's West right here. They're going to run the play this way. Last time they were in this situation, they ran behind Mandarich, who's over here at left tight end. They don't do it this time. They fake that run to the left. They get the Rams going that way in the action. Ed West just delays. You see him just run out of your screen, and Mikowski just dumps him the ball, and there's nobody within 10 yards of him. Great call. Good call by Lindy Infante. There's big Ed West. You know, John Robinson said something interesting about tight ends. He said tight ends are made. They're not born. You've got to teach a tight end first to block, then you got to teach them to catch. They don't come as complete packages normally.
Well, Ed West has just emerged here as a very important part of the offense. An acknowledged good blocker out of Auburn, and not regarded as a pass receiver when he came into the pros. But Lindy Infante working him in specialized situations, suddenly an important part of what they're doing. 10-point deficit, and so much time left to play. 2:34 in the 3rd. Imagine what Green Bay did a week ago to a solid team like the Saints. The Rams have to be getting a little nervous right now. Short kickoff at the 10 is Ron Brown. flags are down. They drop him at the 27-yard line. Burnell Dent, number 56. And one Packer is a little slow to get up down there, but apparently he's all right.
You know, back in 1980 when I was with the 49ers, we were behind 35-7 to the Saints and came back and beat them 38-35 in overtime. So the Rams, this is going to be, here comes the caller from Jim Tunney.
Number 51 is 10 yards, makes it a first down.
You know, this is going to be a great test of the Rams' character. It's very difficult to be up and pumped for a game, get off to a big lead, and all of a sudden see it dwindle. Emotion is not a light switch. You can't turn it on and off. They're going to have to play this one on guts if they're going to keep ahead of this team.
Brett Farinay's picked up the penalty for the Rams. It drops them back inside their 15. Greg Bell meets a swarming Packer defense out the right side. Brian Noble leading it. You know that Noble is especially pumped up. Randy, you talked about it earlier. When he comes home, he's excited about being here. All those folks here to cheer. His parents are on hand, and you know he's going to really be an inspirational leader out there, and he's that kind of a personality anyway.
Without a doubt, Tim. But, you know, when you get in this situation near the Rams, you can't make things go right. What do you go back to? You go back to what you do best. What do they do best? They get that big offensive line off the ball and just hand it to a running back. Just pick one, give him the ball.
2nd and 5. That's what they're doing. And it's Bell to the 43-yard line. A fine run by Bell. Johnny Holland finally got him.
And a deadly combination is when you say pick a back, and the back you pick is Greg Bell. They come off the ball. The Los Angeles Rams, like few lines in the league. You see Cox 72 comes off. Tom Newberry gets stuffed by Brian Noble, but Noble's so busy occupied by Newberry, he flips. Doug Smith gets a good block on Nelson, the nose guard, and Greg Bell cuts back and makes a fine run. You don't want to see a back of that quality loose in the defensive backfield.
First down, Rams at their 41. Play action. Everett lots of time and picked off. 10 Stills to the 45-yard line. Everett had all kinds of time there. Another ill-advised throw.
That was, once again, they've run this play 3 or 4 times today. They faked their counter going to the right. Everett fakes the handoff to the back and peels back around on the play action and tries to hit Ellard crossing the field. Great positioning that time by the defensive back, though. Watch Everett here. You'll see the lineman on your right pull out like it's going to be a counter, fakes the handoff. There's nobody near him. He's got all the time in the world to throw. He tries to zip it in here. Gets it by Tim Harris, number 97, but doesn't quite get it by.
Ken Stills alertly on the ball. Now, he's been starting for the injured Chuck Cecil and playing well through the first 2 weeks. It'll be hard to dislodge. First down, Packers. Mikowski eludes the rush. Whoops, picked out, no, broken up. Intended for Kemp, and the Rams nearly come up with a big defensive play, but Jerry Gray can't hold on.
This is one of the intangibles in football. How do you explain in the first half a quarterback throws average passes and they're picked off? Here, Don Mikowski throws a terrible pass. The only guy that has a chance is Gray. Perry Kemp comes in and strips the ball out. Nice play by Perry Kemp. That's a very heads-up wide receiver play. Here, Jerry Gray, you see, has the ball. It is an interception. Kemp strips that left arm, and he can't hold on to the ball. Excellent. Great camera work, too.
Second down from the 45-yard line. The Los Angeles Rams. 48 seconds left, third quarter. Good catch by a stumbling Keith Woodside. Concentrating on the ball, and the Packers have another first down.
You'll see Woodside at the top of the screen on this replay. Michael Stewart is going to be picking him up man-to-man. It's almost a pick. Doesn't quite clean him off. Look at that. Michael Stewart's he's tackling him before the ball gets there. Great concentration by Woodside.
At the 34-yard line, the Packers on the move again. 2 errant Everett passes have been costly. Mikowski nearly coughed it up the other way. John Robinson's temperature going up a little bit, no doubt. And And that's going to wind it up here for the third quarter with the score. The Los Angeles Rams 38, the Green Bay Packers 28. We now pause for a word from your local station. Tim Ryan with Randy Cross. 15 minutes of regulation time to be played at Anaheim Stadium. The Rams, who led 31-7, are now leading by 10. The Packers have the ball in Rams territory as we begin the fourth. Sideliner complete. Woodside to the 31-yard line. Got about 3 on the play. Driven out by Michael Stewart. Stewart, number 23.
Mikowski's shown a lot of poise. He's made one bad pass, but look at this. Last 3 possessions. 9 plays, touchdown. 3 plays, touchdown. 6 plays, touchdown. Rams, on the other hand, have not had quite the success that the Green Bay Packers have enjoyed. 2 interceptions and 2 punts. John Robinson's got to be doing some serious worrying right now about his offense.
Mikowski sideline again. This time it is Kemp. He'll be short of the first down by about a yard. It'll leave 3rd and 1. Brett Farinez on the coverage. Number 51 made the tackle. But Mikowski just appears to be throwing with great confidence here in this second half, as though the first half never happened. That's what he did last week. He had 3 pickoffs in the first half this afternoon, and Woodside's been getting a lot of action here.
He's got dirt. They're tearing his numbers off his jersey. How come it's all on your back? His front looks fine. The back's got all kinds of stuff on it.
3rd and 2. Green Bay. 27 of Los Angeles. They'll run it. He did not make it. Fullwood. Maybe a yard when they spot the ball. Alvin Wright and Sean Miller, the down lineman, standing him up tall, and they'll have a 4th and 1.
I think this is a good move by Lindy Infante and the Green Bay Packers. There's plenty of time left in this game. If they were to go for it here and not make it, I think emotionally it could be a crushing blow. This is a smooth move. Take the points, get 3, pull within a touchdown.
Chris Jackie, the rookie from UTEP. His first field goal try of the regular NFL season. From 42 yards away, and he's got it. 42-yard field goal by Chris Jackie. 38-31. Back here at Anaheim Stadium, in 2 lines, that tells the story, doesn't it? 38-7, the Rams in the first half. And in the second game of the doubleheader, Green Bay is leading 24-0. Well, that adds up to 38-31.
I tell you, so far in the second half, the Rams have not had the emotion they showed in the first half. And from experience, I've been in this position. Big lead, people start coming back on you. Last year in Phoenix. Phoenix had us. We had them 23-0 in the fourth quarter. They came back and beat us. Rams aren't thinking, let's be aggressive. The Rams at this point are thinking, we got to hold on and not make another mistake.
So you wind up thinking survival, and that sometimes is the worst way to go. I recall that game because I broadcasted when the Cardinals came back. These 2 guys, 24-23. Out to the 20-yard line on the return. Carl Bland on the stop of Ron Brown.
A good indicator usually of a team's emotion is their special team play. Right there on that last kickoff return, we saw Green Bay. They were swarming. He had guys get around his legs and stand him up, and they're saying, here, I'll hold him up while you guys hit him. Go ahead, take your shot.
Jim Everett, 11 of 20, 184 yards. He has 2 touchdown passes, but he's got 2 intercepts, and they have been costly in the second half. 13:46 remaining to play. Bell got a couple, met by Bob Nelson. Number 79, Blaze Winter helping them out, number 68. Well, there it is, graphically spelled out. Rams with a 10-zip lead. Green Bay actually played pretty well in that quarter, but nothing good happened for them. And then everything went awry, and a huge lead at halftime for the Rams, but it's been all Packers in the second. Flags down on the second down play.
False start. Number 61. Still second down.
Tony Slayton, the right guard, number 61. Rams have had to go without left tackle Irv Pankey since back early in the first half. Went out with a lower back problem, and Robert Cox has taken his place. There's a Pankey, and you know he'd like to be back out there in this circumstance with that lead slipping away.
Well, these Packers are aggressive. You know, they say a lion can smell fear. Defenses can smell uncertainty and lack of confidence, and right now the Ram offense is very uncertain.
Second and 13. Short pass to Buford McGee, well covered by Holland. Tried to sneak McGee, circling him out in front there, and the linebacker Holland waiting for him. Brian Noble right there to help out.
Just like they're gang tackling on special teams, the Green Bay Packers are gang tackling on defense, and that's the kind of thing. You got a guy like Tim Harris, you've got Brian Noble. They inspire that. Mark Murphy in the defensive backfield, Dave Brown. They want to rally to the ball. Lindy and Fonnie said the most impressive thing about the Rams defense was they rallied to the ball. Well, Green Bay is doing all the rallying right now.
Third down and about 9. So this is a really key third down situation for the Rams to reassert themselves. Never rushed, and he hit the official with a pass. Intended up the middle.
He was open, too. Hit him right in the chest.
Andy Antici was a umpire that he hit, number 115.
You'll see this happen probably a dozen times out of the whole season in the NFL. Everett's getting some pressure. He can feel Patterson and Harris coming after him. He flips it. Antici never gets a chance. Andy Antici never had a chance to get out of the way.
Didn't show much in the way of hands there, did he?
You catch it, you're going to get hit.
Punt taken at the 35. Mickey Sutton. Newman on the hit. Flag down, however. Against the Los Angeles Rams. Somebody downfield a little early. Looks like Lindy's saying make him kick it again.
This is always a gamble, Tim. Now, the Packers could take the ball.
Formation. Left side of the line. Not up on the ball. 5 yards. It'll still be fourth down.
You're talking about not being up on the ball. You see that happen a lot on special teams nowadays. The linesmen are told to count how many guys are actually on the line and how many are in the backfield, because guys want to cheat back a little bit because these corner guys that are rushing the punters are quick. See, Robinson, look at him. He's talking to his offense. You got to take the pressure off this defense. You haven't done anything so far in the second half. Get off your... I mean, he's giving it to him here. But like I was saying, this is a gamble. You can't have the ball at the 35. The gamble is Packers can't hit you again.
Sutton, the ex-Ram, gets into the 45 and still going to the 41. Mickey Sutton, one of 7 Plan B free agents on this Packer roster. He happens to be a former Ram, and Wiltshire finally stopped him, but good field position for Green Bay at the 41.
When things are going good, they're going good. Lindy won on that gamble.
We'll be right back. You think Tony Mandarich wants in this game? He hasn't taken his helmet off since the game began.
Now, which guy's ready to go? You got the backup quarterback here. Delwig is sitting here going, well, you know, you go out to the right. We've called a play over here. Mandarich is going, the heck with a play. I want to be in the play.
Green Bay ball, 41 of L.A. First down. Deep for Sharp. Flag down, incomplete in the end zone. A likely interference call, but let's be sure. If he pushed off, they're bringing the ball downfield. Clifford Hicks had the coverage.
That was the exact same play action pass that Sterling Sharp beat Hicks on in the third quarter. Faked the ball up the middle to the running back. Makowski.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 28 in the end zone. Ball be placed on the 1-yard line. First down.
You can see Clifford Hicks, number 28, never looked back for the ball. He was studying the receiver and went to face guard him. He can do all that as long as he looks back. If you don't look back for the ball, they're going to throw a flag on that every time.
1-yard line of scrimmage for Green Bay, first down. Sharp nearly hung on to the ball as it was. Mandarich is in at the left tight end position. Didier sets on the wing next to him. West on the other tight end. Loose ball. Rams have it. Buford McGee, I believe, dropped the ball. Not McGee, pardon me, Fullwood. Brent Fullwood of the Packers, and we'll wait and see who came up with it. Reed. Doug Reed, number 93.
We've got a Ram down on the field. The training staff and John Robinson are there paying attention. We'll see this on the rebound. There's Doug Reed, happy about the recovery. There's no excuse for a running back in this situation unless it was a fumble that was caused to drop the ball here. Fullwood driving through. We couldn't see where the ball came from on that ground level angle. You know, from the other side, Green Bay could make the... Fullwood's obviously saying, hey, I was in the end zone before I dropped the ball. But Fullwood's going to come in. Here's Stamms, 50. On the right-hand side of your head, lower his helmet, come in. He catches them right on the elbow, right where the ball is. The ball is now loose, and it's bouncing into the end zone. And Doug Reed, number 93, is going to kind of burrow down to the bottom of that pile and come up with it.
Doug Reed came up with the ball. Stamms made the hit, and Stamms was the injured Ram, but he's up and back on the bench. So the Notre Dame rookie with a big play there. And recovered in the end zone, so it comes out to the 20-yard line. Rams ball. A huge turnover as the Packers had completely taken the play away here. 11:23 still to play. Now the onus on the Rams offense to move it upfield. And the Packers to try and keep their momentum by getting it right back. And apparently the replay gentlemen were taking an extra look at that play, and it stands as well. A Fullwood fumble, covering the end zone by Reed of the Rams. First down at the 20. Everett, incomplete, intended for Eller. Diving in front was Mark Murphy. May have tipped it, at the very least distracted him.
We saw that last replay on the near touchdown by Brent Fullwood that ended up being a fumble. Here we see Stamms, number 50, left-hand corner of the screen. Great linebacker instinct. He sees the lead block. He sees where it's going to go. He comes in and puts his helmet, we can't quite see, but right there, right on the ball. Look, that's where the ball's coming loose in the middle of your screen. It's on the ground. Doug Reed recovers.
Second and 10. Bell stopped at the line of scrimmage. Murphy coming up to fill, helping Brian Noble, who made the first hit.
You know, Brian Noble made a point to us yesterday. He says, you know, guys, for years here, the defense knew that if we won the game, or if we were going to win a game, the defense had to win a game. Now, all of a sudden, they realize, gee, we got a pretty good offense here. All we really have to do now is stop them. Our offense will score.
You saw Fullwood getting a little attention there. He came into the game with a little hurt on the leg. Third down. Long 9 for Everett. Lots of time on the roll, but trying to find an open man, he does. First down, Rams. Aaron Cox. Number 84, the second-year man from Arizona State. A key catch here.
Jim Everett had enough time standing out there about the 20-yard line, batting his hand on the ball. He should have had an umbrella, a lawn chair, a little cooler there for him, because nobody was even close to him. Here we're using this little boot out again. Everett's back. Look at him pounding on the ball. Where do I go? Where do I go? And he spots his man, zips it over there. Fine pass.
First down, Rams. They lead 38-31. Bell gets about 3 near the 35. Nelson tripped him up. A game that appeared to be an absolute rout at halftime turns into one of those nail biters, and still lots of time left. Just crossing the 10-minute-to-go mark in regulation time. Second down. Holohan picked up about 3. Linebackers John Anderson and Johnny Holland trying to stop him.
Anderson's not a real flashy linebacker. Very, very consistent. Great against the run. Great against the run. Against the pass, he's all right. If he was better against the pass, he'd be out there in the nickel situations. He isn't.
Saw Fritz Shermer stepping up the Rams defense for the next series. San Diego has defeated Kansas City for the Chargers' first win under Jim McMahon. Third down. Holohan again, stretching for the first down. He had it anyway. Burnell Dent made the tackle there. And a quick look on our CBS Sports Wire at all of the scores from earlier today in the NFL. Pittsburgh was one of the big upsets, a thriller in overtime. Seattle, a big winner today. Everett for Bell. Bell gets about 3. The 46-yard line of Los Angeles. Noble pushed him out. A short passing game of the Rams, chinking upfield now from the 20-yard line, and they're at the 46.
You know, if you're going to eat up the clock, you'd think you got to run it, but they've lost the luxury of kind of doing what they figure they might want to do. Now they're just going to have to take what Green Bay is going to give them. With 8 minutes and 21 seconds, the Rams have got a very poised, John Robinson kind of led drive going here. The clock was their adversary. Now moving the ball like this, it is definitely their ally.
With Bell, he's got room. Noble pulls him down, but he has a first down. Packer territory at the 44. The slumbering Rams waking up here as they got that turnover in the end zone and are grinding up yardage and the clock.
Well, it's one of the great luxuries of having a veteran offensive line as the Rams do. At a time like this, you look to that group to reassert itself and take over a football game that seems to be slipping away.
Bell now has 159 yards rushing on 23 carries today. Ramon Johnson in motion. Bell again. Hauled down by Sean Patterson, but he has another Rams first down.
The Rams aren't doing anything extremely fancy right here. Watching the middle of the screen, Doug Smith comes off a little wham block on Boyarsky, 61 by the fullback, and Greg Bell just doing some nice running. Once you get that running back the first 3 yards and get him past the defensive line, it's up to him to do his stuff. Here, Greg Bell is limping a little bit. I know in this kind of heat, we've had a few other guys coming out with cramps. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
And he came into the game with a shoulder injury, but John Robinson knows that this guy will give it everything he's got. That's what he expects out of these backs. He works them. They earn their money. They always have under Robinson.
Right here at the end of the play, he got a knee by Patterson as he planted that right leg. Patterson kind of crammed his knee into the back of his knee, upper thigh. That could have been it, but you can never tell. He's getting a lot of work.
First down, Rams. Everett, sideliner, incomplete. Intended for Ellard. Well, now for the Packers, they've got to come up with a big defensive play. There's the clock in favor of the Rams. 6:51. It stopped now on the incompletion. You see Bell looks like he's eager to get back out there, but still on the sideline.
Well, it's hard to really say. A John Robinson type back from the days he was at SC or here with the Rams, it's not a particular injury. It's cumulative trauma. They get the ball so much, they get banged up. Here, 10 plays, this kind of a drive is eating up the clock, and it's going to kill Green Bay.
Everett, safe man is Holohan, and Holohan picks up about 8. Ryan Noble stops him in the infield dirt. There's another interesting high-scoring ball game in the fourth quarter. Miami and the Jets tied. 66 points on the board.
The Rams run that play we've been talking about. They're going to fake the counter with the lineman on the left-hand side of your screen pulling, fakes the handoff. Instead of going downfield, though, Jim Everett's been burned on that. He drags Holohan across the middle and hits him on a nice, safe pass. Picks up a good 7 yards.
Got to believe nice, safe passes are going to be the order of the day for the Rams.
Definitely.
Third down and 2. Bell back in. Buford McGee. This is Bell, and he's hit behind the line. Tim Harris walked him. Bell did well to hold on. Fourth down. Lansford will come on to attempt the field goal. What a huge play this is.
Greg Bell knows I got a good offensive line in front of me. I'll just zip up here and get this first down. Tim Harris fights off Damone Johnson, makes a form tackle and dumps Greg Bell on his back. Great.
45-yard attempt by Lansford. 2 of 3 this year. Front field goal by Mike Lansford. Lead, 5:17 to play. Yes. Coming next will be 60 minutes. Except on the West Coast at its regular time. Lansford's high kickoff. Taken by Scott Stephen, the linebacker again. He's made 2 of those catches today. Down at the 21-yard line.
You know, a lot of people wonder there, why would a person ever fair catch a kickoff? That's not a return guy. That's a linebacker. Coaches teach players, don't take a chance, catch the ball, get down on a knee, give us the ball. Don't be a hero.
Well, he's done it twice and done it properly. John Robinson got to feel a little bit better now, that 10-point cushion, but still 5:12 to go. Now will Green Bay try to get it down the field in a hurry, Randy, or are they going to stay with a little mixture of run and pass?
I think they got to keep with what we got in there. Medium range pass.
Play action stuff like that. Sterling Sharp, first down to the 32-yard line, the 35-yard line.
Lindy Infante's talk with us last night almost seems prophetic. Here we'll see at the bottom of the screen, Sterling Sharp, number 84, pushes the Darrell Henley off. Great zip pass right on the sideline.
They wanted more big play production out of Sterling Sharp, and they've gone to him in a lot of critical situations today. Mikowski's numbers coming up from the disastrous first half. Those 3 pickoffs came in the first half. Sideline complete. Woodside escapes nicely, and he'll be close to a first down.
Looked like we might have had a little face mask there right at the end of that tackle.
Michael Stewart, number 23, pulling him down. Woodside's had a big game for the Packers, primarily as a receiver.
Face mask, number 23, 5 yards, added to the end of the run, and it'll make it a first down.
That's Stewart.
You get a back like Woodside fighting and running like that. There you see Michael Stewart gets his hand right in there into the face mask. It's quick. He didn't do it long, but it was a great job of catching it by the ref on the far side.
Darrell Henley is on the right corner for Clifford Hicks. We haven't had an injury report on Hicks, but of course he got burned a couple of times on long stuff. Makowski, deep sideliner, complete to Sharp, and it was Henley who got burned. Sharp still going to the 12-yard line. Sterling Sharp from South Carolina, the #1 pick a year ago. He is having himself an afternoon.
You get a wide receiver that you pick #1, like a Sterling Sharp here at the bottom of your screen. You expect him to have speed. You expect him to have good hands. You expect him to have agility. But the intangible, watch this. He's going to get up. He'll start running. Look at the strength. He can't be tackled by one person. Guys are trying to pull him. He'll start fighting. Look at his knee drive. He doesn't want to go down. He's a fighter.
8 catches today, 187 yards and a touchdown, and Green Bay on the doorstep again at the 11-yard line.
They might be reviewing this one to see if maybe as he leaped up in the air, Henley came in and might have touched him on the foot and sent him to the ground.
That would make it down by contact. That's a tricky one to call there when you see such a great effort on the part of the receiver.
Now we'll see the end zone look here, and what we're going to look for is was Sharp touched in the foot or lower leg by Henley diving underneath him. Look, here comes the ball.
No.
Wow, it looks like I don't know.
Hurdled him.
It looks like he came through clean.
The runner is ruled down by contact at the 34-yard line. 34, it'll be first down.
How about this guy here? No, he's still on his feet here.
They're going to rule that Henley did brush his leg as he was in the air after he caught the ball.
Well, you know, either way, whichever way that play went, you have to say that's a shame when a guy makes a great athletic play like this. And for just the touch, if it occurred here, according to the replay officials, it did, and for that to be eliminated. It looks like he got a hand on his right foot there.
There you go. From this sideline, it looked like from the end zone that he dove between them. But from the sideline, you can see his left leg was moved by Henley as it moved through.
Correct call, but a great athletic effort by Sharp. And they will bring it back to the 35. Now that changes the complexion of things considerably for Green Bay, but they do have a first down. And they place it at the 34-yard line of the Rams. 4:20 still remaining. Well, we have had it all in this game, and yet another high-scoring game as we have seen throughout the league through the first 3 weeks. And now Sharp, 8 catches, 164 yards. His best for the Packers. Makowski with lots of time. Can't find a man and takes it out of bounds. Just got back to the line of scrimmage. Now don't forget 60 Minutes upcoming next. Following our NFL coverage, except on the West Coast, you'll see it at its regular time. Second down and 10 as Makowski got just to the line of scrimmage.
That was a good, smart play by Makowski there. He threw that, was going to throw that ball, looked like into the middle of the field trying to find a receiver, had the common sense and the presence of mind just to pull it down and take a gain, 2 yards.
Packers trying for yet another improbable comeback. That's blocked at the line of scrimmage. Batted down. I believe Alvin Wright got a hand on it. Number 99. Third down.
There's Alvin Wright. He's 6'2". He's listed at 290. I put him a little bit closer to 300. And he must have thrown that ball awful low for Alvin Wright to get up and bat it down.
Now, you've played against Alvin Wright frequently in your rivalry with the Rams. How do you rate him as a nose man?
He's a very good nose guard, very strong, very aggressive. You'll see him right here in the middle of your screen, gets his hand up. Good play by Alvin Wright. This is a key time for the Packers. They've got to have a first down here. They've got to get 7 on this drive.
Complete. Carl Bland. The Plan B free agent from Detroit comes up with a huge play. It'll be first down, Packers at the 24-yard line. Carl Bland out of Virginia Union.
Good pass protection from Mikowski. Mikowski zips it in there. And Bland, it just gets through, goes right through Newsom's hands and into Bland's arms.
Now they're measuring here. It looked to us like he had the first down, but let's be sure as the officials are measuring. Yes, indeed. First down Packers, 3:37 to go. They're down by 10. 45-yard field goal by Lansford looming large as they got that fumble recovery in the end zone. Started from their 20, came up with a critical 3 points. And West to the 12. First down, Green Bay. 3:10 and ticking. Other games still underway. Denver by 10 over the Raiders. San Diego defeated Kansas City.
Yeah, I find it curious, Tim. Green Bay is running a lot of play action for these nice pass plays they're completing. They're not running the ball extremely effectively, but the Rams are biting on the play action. You know, something you see not only in Bill's type of an offense, but Bill Walsh's type of an offense, but Lindy Infante's also, where you throw your pattern, your plays go by patterns, not by design.
Well, the Packers take a timeout. Mikowski wants to be sure here. 2:52 to play. Well, next Sunday on CBS, these Green Bay Packers will be at home against Atlanta, and regardless of the outcome of today's game, again, they have shown great tenacity, great spirit, and this young team growing in confidence. The Redskins will be at New Orleans. Doubleheader action. We'll see the Rams at San Francisco. What a big one that'll be, again, regardless of the outcome here today. And the Giants winners today will be at Dallas. Dallas is 0-3. Well, you know you're in La-La Land when you check out the fans here in Anaheim, but those are the Packer fans here in Los Angeles. No doubt some of Noble's Knights down there.
Painted in the green and gold. You know, I made a point just a little while ago about the plays. Lindy Infante seems like if he wants to run a certain pattern, he's going to call the play that has a pattern in it. If it's a drop back, fine. If it's a play action, that really doesn't matter at this point. He's trying to get a receiver to a certain part of the field.
First down, Green Bay. Woodside and Michael Haddix in the lineup now in the backfield. Haddix to block. The pass is out to Haddix, and Haddix fights his way to the 2-yard line. Michael Haddix, another Plan B free agent coming over from the Eagles. First down and goal at the 2-yard line. Each team with 2 timeouts to go. Richard Brown and Michael Stewart stopping Haddix there. Well, they're going to measure this. It appeared to be a first down, but they're calling for the sticks. Everett warming up on the sidelines.
John Robinson was just over talking to Jim Everett, and you got the impression just from watching this from up here, he was telling him, look, they might score, we're going to get the ball back, you'd better hold on to it. What you have to do is you've got to get the first downs. We don't want these guys to get the ball back.
Now, it is a first down. First and goal. The ball is just outside the 2-yard line. Mikowski looking calm and poised in that huddle. He's a fiery guy, but he's been a very poised man in the second half after the misfortune of the first half. Mandarich is in there again at the left end position. Didier on the wing. Now Didier in motion. Mikowski lobbing to the end zone for West, and he is pushed down. There'll be an interference penalty on Mel Owen. Literally knocked West on his backside before the ball even left the hands of Mikowski.
You know, I'm really impressed here by Lindy Infante.
Interference, defense, number 58 in the end zone. Ball will be placed on the 1-yard line. First down.
I'm real impressed by Linda Infante and Don Mikowski. You see Tony Manders checking in with Jim Tunney. I'm still in. He's getting some playing time. But I'm impressed by their patience. They're not going for the splashy plays. Here you see Mikowski's going to drop back, timing pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, and lob it up in the air. Look at that, clearly face guarding. He never looked back for the ball, and then he dove into the receiver.
Goal from the 1. Fullwood driving into the end zone, touchdown. 2:21 still to play.
You know, Brent Fullwood was thinking two things. Keep driving, score a touchdown, and wrap two hands around the ball, and don't drop it this time.
Well, I think it's time for us to just reiterate the Packer comeback situation here. It's still possible for them. The Rams will try to prevent that with their offensive possession upcoming. 21 points. They came from behind last week to beat New Orleans 35-34. Their best ever comeback, a 23-point deficit, as Jackie gets the point after, and that occurred against the Rams in Milwaukee in 1982 when they came from behind 23 down to win it 35-23. They were 24 points down in this game. They're now 3. Make that 4.
Ground level here, and Brent Fullwood's going to get it. It wasn't a particularly good job of blocking by the offensive line of the Green Bay Packers. The Rams filled well. Brent Fullwood was not about to be denied. He's driving, he's running. Look, he gets to the goal line, he puts that other left hand over the ball. He's going to be safe. This is so far, we've watched a team that was behind 38-7 at the half come back into this half and score 31 points and pretty much be uncontested so far in the second half.
And they trail by only 3 points here with 2:21 to go. Well, now John Robinson and Jim Everett got to find a way, as you outlined, Randy, to keep the ball. They are now into survival mode here. They're not looking to do anything except hold on to that lead.
Well, the first thing they want to do is get the ball in their possession. The Rams, obviously, going to see here, they're going to be anticipating an onside kick. They've got their onside kick return team out here with 2 guys deep at around the 17, 18-yard line, and the other 9 guys are lined up in between the 45 and basically the 45-yard line here.
Chris Jackie will be kicking it off, the rookie. Into the end zone. Ron Brown covers it there, and the Rams will start from their 20 with 2:13 remaining to play regulation time. Lindy Infante on the sidelines, hoping for that big defensive play. Anaheim Stadium, and it's kind of strangely quiet here. These fans saw their team up with a huge lead. Suddenly, they're looking at a 3-point deficit in a game that is spelled out on the scoreboard. 38-7 at halftime for the Rams, and it's been all Green Bay.
At this point, the Rams need 2 first downs. Both teams have 2 timeouts. 2 first downs, and this game is over.
That is Buford McGee. Swing it out into the flat for McGee, and he picks up about 4. The clock is stopped.
You know, that's a curious play. I got to be honest with you. Why throw a pattern out near the sideline where you know even if your guy catches it, he's going to be immediately knocked out of bounds and stop the clock? You want to eat it up. I'm sure Buford's supposed to turn it upfield, but you're throwing the ball within 3 or 4 yards of the sideline.
That was a little unusual. Also, of course, if you make any mistake at all, it's picked off. The guy's got nothing but end zone staring him in the face. Second down and a long 6. Everett upfield this time. Good catch by Ellard and inbound. At the 39-yard line, Jakes forced him out. Linebacker Johnny Holland looked at the official kind of questioningly about whether or not he was inbound.
Well, the key here on a play like this is when the receiver goes up and catches the ball, does he have both hands on it, and do both feet come back down inbounds? Has he got possession? There's one, and he drags the other one in. That is an all-pro play right there.
Henry Ellard. Ron Pitts has taken over for Jakes at the left corner. Pitts just coming off a knee injury. Jakes has had a few problems during the course of this game, and a couple last week as well.
They're probably reviewing this upstairs. It's a catch. He seems to have possession of the ball. I don't know.
Hard to tell. That's going to probably be in the inconclusive category.
This is curious, though, Tim. Is this illustrate the change in the Los Angeles?
The play stands. Completed catch, first down.
It is inconclusive, is indeed the case, and so the play stands as called a legal catch.
Does this show the change in the Ram offense? I mean, the Ram offense a couple years ago, they'd run the ball to grind it out here. Jim Everett's dropping back and throwing it.
Well, right, and it's not that Bell hasn't been doing the job for them. He sure has. He let him carry it this time, and he grinds out about 4, maybe 5. John Anderson on the hit. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. 1:59 officially left to play. Rams 2nd and 5 when we return. The cross, it says, turned into a thriller from what appeared to be a rout. 1:59 to go. 2nd and 5. The Rams have the ball and a 3-point lead. They're at their own 44-yard line. Packers desperate to get the ball for one last attempt at the end zone. Greg Bell. Close to a first down. Noble and Harris on the stop. Packers take the timeout. They'll have one more to go. Greg Bell is now up to 175 yards on the day on 27 carries. So he has been effective on the ground, to say the least. Well, a quick look at all the scores from earlier today. 49ers coming from behind to beat Philadelphia. Montana, big day. Jimmy Hoffa still missing. That story indicating rumors that he was apparently buried under the Meadowlands turf. Washington, a winner today. Chicago, big over Detroit. Pittsburgh, a big upset over Minnesota. Vikings struggling the last 2 weeks. Buffalo and Houston in a shootout in overtime. 5 touchdowns for Kelly. Seattle bouncing back from last week's loss. Indianapolis over Atlanta. The Colts losing to the Rams last week. Both quarterbacks hurt in that game. Dickerson injured as well. Tampa Bay upsetting the Saints, have lost 2 in a row. Another good day for Testaverde. And Denver, their 2nd win in a row over the Raiders. And San Diego wins their first under McMahon, and a shootout that finally ends with the Jets on top. High-scoring game. Lindy Infante, I would think, disputing the Ellard catch as being a good catch, but he's on the far side of the field. So that's like a tennis fan at the U.S. Open up in the cheap seats whistling at a line call. And that's assuming that that's what Infante was complaining about. No doubt he'll tell us when we get to Milwaukee next week.
Short of a major disaster on the part of the L.A. Rams, if they can get this first down, I believe this is your ball game.
3rd down and a half yard. Bell. Johnny Holland stopped him at the 5-yard line. Greg Bell has been outstanding today. A 47-yard run.
Well, everybody's up. They know there's going to be a run. It's a quick pitch out here to the screen, to the left side of your screen. Greg Bell sees the opening. He sees the gap, cuts back and makes it. Tim Harris doesn't have enough enough momentum going the other way. He can't stop. Now he's just going to go for a race. He's got to be getting tired. He's got over 210 yards rushing and doesn't quite have enough to get by Holland there and get into the end zone.
222 yards on the day, and a tired Greg Bell can barely make it back to the Rams bench. Greg Bell is not concerned about Eric Dickerson not being in a Ram uniform. It's his job, and he's doing it well. Down at the 6-yard line, the Rams will have the ball with 54 seconds left, and it looks like they will have survived this valiant comeback attempt by the Packers. And don't forget, 60 Minutes will follow immediately the conclusion of our football telecast, and those of you on the West Coast will see it at its regular time, our outstanding Sunday night show, 60 Minutes on CBS. So the Rams will move to 3-0 along with the 49ers, who had a battle to beat the Eagles today, and Atlanta and New Orleans behind them at 1-2. Next week, those two undefeated teams will face each other here on CBS, and I know, Randy, you're particularly looking forward to that one.
I think it's going to be a great game. It's two high-powered offenses and two very aggressive defenses.
Jim Everett had a great first half, stumbled a bit in the second, but he's got his team in position to win.
You know, Tim, at this point, this game has served two lessons, I think. It served a lesson to the Rams not to get overconfident, not to get too cocky when you get out and you get a lead on somebody. And it served, I think, an equally valuable lesson to the Green Bay Packers, that they are a team that can come back. They're a team that hangs together in the bad times. And I think come the end of the year, this will really reap dividends for Lindy Infante and the Green Bay Packers.
Well, and they've got a couple of a little easier competition games coming up in the next couple of weeks. And I think they can go away from here feeling good about themselves despite the defeat. For the Rams, their numbers are on the board. They're 3-0. Chance to tell you that the coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS is Charles H. Milton III. Today's game produced by Bob Monsbach and directed by Kathy Barretto. The executive producer of CBS Sports is Ted Shaker. And our usual outstanding crew and support today to bring you the pictures of the winners and the losers. And there is Ken Rutgers, who gave it all he had out there today, as did all of his teammates. Fred
Strickland, number 53. You know, at this point of a game, when things go bad like this, when you're on the losing side, as Green Bay is, there's Dave Brown. You're not going to find a prouder guy around than Dave Brown. He's the kind of guy right here, and the Mark Murphys and the Makowskis, that this Green Bay team is going to rally around.
So Everett just using up the clock here. And what seemed like an improbable effort on the part of the Packers has come to be the case, but what an effort they gave.
You can't say enough about the character this Green Bay Packers team really showed today. I think they showed people last week they had the ability to come back and beat a team like New Orleans. The LA Rams have an offense that can play with anybody in this league, and their defense is supposed to be equally as good. And the Packers have showed maybe they belong somewhere up in that echelon.
Credit to the Rams, especially after their fumble recovery by Reed in their own end zone, to bring it downfield and come up with a winning field goal by Mike Lansford. Turned out to be the margin in this wild football game at Anaheim Stadium. And the final score, the LA Rams 41, the Green Bay Packers 38. We'll be back at Anaheim in a moment.